Well, a pleasant good morning, everybody. Welcome to an overcast and cloudy day here at the Fairfield County Park in Monroe, Washington, for the continuation of the Seattle Orcas Women's T20 exhibition. This is the last day of the group stages matches ahead of finals tomorrow. This morning's match featuring the Redmond Raptors against the Bellevue Blazers. We've had a number of interesting matches, and we go now to Manala Patel, who will be in the middle with both teams and some officials for the toss.
Good morning and welcome to the toss for match number 5 here at the Seattle Orcas Women's T20 Exhibition Series. We do have some very important people in house, and we're going to start by introducing them. I've got Jessica Forsyth, the council member of Redmond, and Mr. David Hamilton, deputy mayor of Bellevue. Can't forget Sean Carey, CEO of Seattle Orcas, in the middle. We'll have a quick chat before we get to the players. How about that? Okay. So, David, let's start with you. How impactful is it to bring cricket in this area?
I think it's amazing. It is going to be a really great community booster. We have a lot of interest. We have a lot of support, a lot of enthusiasm. We just need a better place to play. And so I think we're working on that, and the sooner the better.
I think a lot of people were waiting to find out what is in the pipeline. So maybe I'll throw this one to Jessica. What could we look forward to in the next little while?
Well, I think that the community is definitely behind having cricket in the community, and there's such momentum behind these teams and these players that I think this is just going to open up a whole new field of play for so many people in our community.
Absolutely. It's exactly what we want to see in terms of growth. Sean, easy question. Where do we see this in 2 years?
We'd love to see it in Marymore Park in Redmond. We've seen such amazing skills by all of these athletes over the last 2 days. And if we can put them on natural turf wickets, on beautiful, pristine outfields, then their skills are going to be elevated even more, and we're going to see even better results than what we've seen the last 2 days.
Sounds like a wonderful plan. I'm sure the players are waiting to see what comes out of it as well as we continue to grow women's sport, women's cricket especially here in the USA. We'll start by introducing the team to your right, the Redmond Raptors. That's the skipper Anika Kolan, Kiana Joseph from the West Indies, Achini Pereira from Canada, Ritu Singh, Kami Desai, Jessica Wulathgamua, Lekha Shetty, Lasya Bandaru, Divya Saxena, Sahana Shivkumar, Ankita Swaminath, Shilan Khan, Vaishnavi Mangeshkar, and the coaching staff. I'll just move to this side as we get the Bellevue Blazers introduced as well. It's the skipper, Giovanna Aris, Alia Lane, Chinelia Glasgow, Mahek Desai, Disha Dhingra, Chetna Prasad, Disha Kaviparkam, Saharsa Gorla, Subi Agarwal, Simiksha Sivakumar, Ritul Dwivedi, Swati Singh, and Radha Shriram. And our coach, in fact, our only female coach, Sindhu Sriharsha, and a former player for the USA women's team. Right, we're all set for the toss, and before we give it a flip, I'm just going to quickly introduce our umpires as well. Viral Desai, Mohan Misla, and Ramesh Adipalli. Ready? Thank you. Heads. Heads is the call.
Oh, it ran away.
And heads it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Good toy.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Anika, you've won the toss. What are you going to be doing today?
We're going to be having a bowl first. I think there's perfect overcast conditions and the pitch is just a bit damp, so I think we're going to use those conditions in our favor.
Now you are in a bit of pressure, lost a couple of games yesterday. How do you turn things around today?
I think what's so exciting about this Redmonds team is that we're always ready to go, and there's a lot of good spirits in this team. So a quick turnaround from yesterday. We also had a win yesterday, so it was a 50-50 yesterday, and we're just going to build off of that 50% in our positives.
The batting continues to struggle. How do you look to get runs on the board today?
Just simply falling to our basics, just being a bit more responsible in our batting orders and trying to play as deep as we can. And I know there's so much talent in this batting department in our team, and almost everyone in this team can bat, so just backing everyone all the way.
Any changes?
Kiana Joseph is back in, Ankita is out, and Shilan Khan is in, Sahana is out, and Vaishnavi is in.
Well done. Good memory. Go well today. Giovanna, not winning the toss. Had you won, what would you have done and why?
We also would have had a ball. I mean, we've been really consistent with the ball when we started first, but it's all right. We're going to have a bat first. We're going to play to our plans. We're going to stick to our basics, and we're going to carry our batting all the way through.
It is your first doubleheader game today, so how do you pace yourself to get through the whole day?
I mean, we're all very experienced. We've all done 2 games a day at some point, so I'm just going to keep our momentum going, keeping our energy high, and making sure we get the rest that we need in between games.
Any changes to your side?
No changes.
Thank you so much. Best of luck. And the news out of the middle, it is the Raptors who've won the toss, and they will be having a bowl first.
Thank you, Manali. Boy, under cloudy conditions, not surprising that Annika Colin chose to bowl first. So the Bellevue Blazers and Redmond Raptors, it is the bottom 2 teams, if you can think of it that way, in the tournament. But look at this. The squads are going to be very important. Batting first. You'll expect good things from Disha Dingra at the top of the order for the Bellevue Blazers. 75 runs on the tournament so far. Expect also Giovanna Aras with a strike rate of 147 strike rate to be very good when she comes in. And there you see the lineup for the Redmond Raptors, who obviously will be in the field looking to restrict the batting. Jessica Willith-Gamua, good opening fast bowler, 4 wickets for the tournament. Ritu Singh, 5 wickets. But the news for me is the return of Kiana Joseph. 4.57 economy rate and has taken a number of wickets as well. So her reintroduction into the side only augurs well for the Redmond Raptors, as we say. Good morning to Manali Patel. Manali, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. It is a bit of a nippy morning to start things off here, isn't it? At Monroe in Seattle. I'm trying to understand the geography, I suppose, with the mountains and the hills and how the weather's changed over the last 3 days. Very hot day 1. Day 2, cooler. Day 3, total change in terms of weather. And I think it's going to have a big impact in terms of conditions as well, especially for the pace bowlers. Giovanna Aras, well, she said it's all right. We would have had a bat, and we don't mind it very much. They are a team that seems a bit more well-rounded, thanks to that playing side that you see on screen. I still have my doubts about this toss and the decision to have a bowl first, not because the conditions aren't right, not because they're a stronger bowling unit, but I just feel like they put a little bit too much pressure on themselves in this second innings, the Raptors, when it comes to chasing a target down. The umpires are walking out, and the action is all set to begin.
Not that I disagree with what you just said, but the reintroduction of Kiana Joseph into the attack feels like something that would make Annika Colin think, right, our batting is obviously much stronger now with the reintroduction of Kiana Joseph. And under absolutely cloudy and murky conditions, that just feels like a bowl first. It may be the old fast bowler in me thinking here, but it feels like a bowl first kind of a morning. And at some point you expect the batting for the Redmond Raptors to come good as you look at the points table there. Bellevue Blazers and Redmond Raptors tied in terms of points, 2 points each. The second column from the right, net run rate, is what separates the 2 teams. And as a reminder, it is the top 2 teams after today's action that will determine who plays in the final here at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow morning. What are you expecting from this match?
That's an interesting question, and I'm going to refer to the screen right now, and you look at the standings. Bellevue Blazers are tied on points, but they've only played 2 games. They get to play a doubleheader today to get to their allocated 4 games before the finals. The Redmond Raptors have just the 1 game left, and they're at the bottom of the table, so I'm expecting that they're going to be under the pump. Yes, you can say we're confident. Yes, you can say we've done this before, but the reality is they are under the pump. And so what I'm expecting to see today is whether that batting lineup can stand up and turn things around, because they don't really have much more time to be able to do that. And on the flip side, I want to see if Giovanna Aris's team can now pick up another win to themselves, but I also want to see how they're going to handle the doubleheader, because I don't know how those conditions are going to be in terms of pacing themselves throughout the day. Mind you, today's probably the best day to have a doubleheader for them, because it is very cool conditions. You're not going to drain yourself as much in terms of energy. I am keen to see that girl on screen right now. The Disha Dinger's been outstanding with the bat. She's picked up a half century a couple of days ago as well. And she's an absolute talent to watch with the bat. They've got to get a good partnership going, I feel, if they want to get themselves in a comfortable position.
Disha Dingra, as you mentioned, tremendous with the bat. Actually, 3rd ranked batter in this entire series. 75 runs, an average of 75, so she's only been dismissed once. And her partner at the other end, you know her more as a young champion leg spinner. But Mahek Desai also performs very well with the bat, as we see some brass there in the center of your screen. Left to right, that is Sean Carey. And you also have the figure of Jagan Namani as he gets started here. To start opening the bowling is Leka Shetty, wide to start with. And then that last person who you just saw to the right is Mangesh Chowdhury, who is the tournament director for this really important event. Starting with the wide outside the line of off stump, Leka Shetty.
Not too concerned about the wide. The positive sign is she's continued to get the outswing that we've seen her do consistently throughout this tournament.
Oh, you could see that swing from here. Now, if you are a bowler and you're getting a lot of swing going away from the batter, even if you're trying to find that off-stump line and it keeps going wide, sometimes maybe it's helpful to just angle the seam the opposite direction or grip it cross seam to make sure that you get your line first before you start looking for the additional swing. A couple of wides to start with here.
Oh, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not a fan of the idea of holding a cross seam. When you're getting the ball to move, you get your accuracy right, you get your line right. You don't want to waste the ability to move the ball, especially early on. Yeah, it's 3 wides. That last one for me was a bit harsh. Where's the slip?
The counter argument to that is that you've given 3 runs to a team that doesn't necessarily need help scoring. Stroked into the deep, so the first run off the bat, 1 legal ball, bowled, 4 runs already on the board. I don't like the idea of giving away runs. And so even at the risk of bowling a few that gets the ball a little bit older, marginally until you find your right line, finding the right line for me as an opening bowler is more important than generating swing, because swing without direction doesn't help you at all.
Wow, we're definitely 2 very different style of players.
No question. In the air and put down. This is catchable. I'll tell you what, Achina Pereira, great fielder, but this one she will feel should have been taken.
She's going to beat herself up over it as well. It will play on her mind, but this is a big chance gone down. Reaching for that as it was continually going away from her, and just didn't judge it quite as well as she should have, Achini Pereira. That's a chance gone begging. I would really like to see a slip. I am not understanding the thought process here. And the reason why I say we're 2 very different players or playing style people is, for me, I would say I'm more of an attacking player. You were in the first over game. I don't care if you've given 3 wides. I want you to pick up a wicket.
In
And
the
that
air,
new
that
ball,
is solidly stroked again in the deep. Finish that thought, please. I'm really interested in hearing your thought.
and that new ball's only going to do what it's doing right now for so long. So you've got to utilize it to your advantage while it's moving for you. You wasted on cross seam deliveries, and then all of a sudden you're looking for swing and the ball's not doing what it needs to anymore. You've wasted the opportunity of the movement.
The opposite side of that coin, the flip side of that coin, if you will, is what if you don't ever find that line? You've just bowled 8 straight wides. The opposition has 8 runs on the board. You still have 6 legal balls to bowl. Are you still telling her, please keep continuing to bowl the ball with that swing?
Well, this is where we've got to realize we're not playing an under 8 game.
Sure.
We're dealing with athletes who have been around for a little while and do know how to control the ball. 3 wides, but you look at the next few deliveries and Le Cachetti's been able to bring you back onto the mark. She's created an opportunity in the catch that went down as well. And that's just the sort of experience that you have here. That's the end of the first. It's 7 for none. It also means as a coach, you've got to back your bowlers. You've got to back their ability and trust their ability that they will be able to come back on the mark.
I do agree with the last thing that you just said. Much of what you just said I disagree with, but I agree with the last part, that this is a higher level of player. And so even if you get a few wrong, I remember watching the West Indies play an ODI match, and Curtly Ambrose, who's probably one of the most economical bowlers in the history of cricket, started with 3 consecutive wides. So I get that your higher level players will come back from a false start. So I think that's the sweet spot. Understand that this is going to be a tournament that has higher level players, and even if you have a few being sprayed down the leg side or a few in the wrong line, that eventually you trust your players to come good. Speaking of players who come good, Jessica Williff-Gamoa, for me, is one of the most exciting talents that you'll see on display here. Left arm, she's been operating around the wicket consistently to the right-handed batters. So far, Jessica Williff-Gamoa has taken 4 wickets, economy rate of 5.7, so she gives up less than a run a ball, bowling during the power play and at the death. So that gives you a sense of how good a bowler she is. Lovely looking shot that may just have the legs. No, stops short. Outfield not quite as quick today, have you noticed?
Yeah, it's expected as well, isn't it? We've seen a bit of rain, we've seen a bit of drizzle, so it's not had the chance to dry off as well as we've seen over the last 2 days. Dew's been a factor here, but by the time we usually get here, because of the hot sun, the dew is not typically an issue. Just got to be careful. We've seen a lot of wickets go down in that fashion because the ball doesn't rise as much as you're expecting it to.
Mehek Desai, 3 from 5. To me, one of the more exciting young talents in all of USA cricket, male or female. Oh, hammered away. That is really well struck, and that goes for 6.
Or she took on the fielder in the deep as well, but she knew she had struck it well enough. Tried to go the ball before, it was a bit dicey, the length wasn't quite there for it. This time a little bit shorter than that, and it's just allowed for Meg to be able to free her arms, and it was quite a powerful shot as well.
That shot had so much power. Look at that. Pivoting and just essentially playing it so early, well in front of square. So that tells you that she's picked up the length exactly the time she needed to. That was impressive. That was absolutely impressive.
Well, the thing for me here is her bat speed. She has gotten her hands through the shot and into the ball so quickly. And that's exactly what's generated that power for it to fly to the boundary for 6. First maximum of the innings. And they'll want a few more fireworks from her, I think.
That was impressive. That was absolutely impressive. That woke everybody up. And was it the best of deliveries from Jessica Willis-Kamoa? Probably not, because it was at a length that allowed the ball to sort of sit up, but you still have to put them away. And that was brilliantly executed by Mahek Desai. Oh, cut away into that backward point area. The ball is following Achina Pereira. She does well here, though. It's a good piece of fielding.
She's a very agile fielder. She's always been very agile. Actually grew up playing cricket with two of her brothers, one older, one younger, and she's played men's cricket for most of her life. Always been very athletic, played multiple sports as well along with cricket.
Stroked. A lot of work for Ritu Singh. She will not care. That is really well played by Disha Dingra. And that strike ends over number 2. They're off to a fast start here, the Bellevue Blazers. 20 without loss.
Good signs this for the Blazers. An excellent sign for Disha Dingra. This has been absolutely pummeled through the covers. Driven really well.
Oh, that is a thing of beauty. When this opening pair gets it right, they can be very imperious. Disha Dingra, the more established player, certainly the longer career, having played for the U.S. for a number of years. Mahek Desai just early on her journey is what I meant. So this, to me, is a signal that the Redmond Raptors are very concerned about the way things are going. They've gone to Kiana Joseph, left arm orthodox around the wicket. They're asking their senior pro to get a wicket here, or at least slow the scoring rate down. Obviously, 2 overs, 20 runs and over. The projection there is 200. 200 is not going to happen, but you really do need to pull things back, and so you've gone to your senior pro here. Plays the paddle sweep, under edge, running down toward fine leg. Don't think it will get to the ropes, but they'll get a couple of runs, and the fast start continues.
This is an area that Kiana Joseph struggled the last game that she bowled as well. It's just not the right line. Unfortunately, she continues to get it a bit too straight, and that leg stump line is quite easy to pick off. Here's a question for you, Jamaican man. How are the West Indian girls going to handle this nippy weather? Missed out. Should have been put away. Because it is currently
And do not say
18 degrees Celsius.
18 degrees Celsius. That to me sounds like about 65 or so degrees Fahrenheit. That is chilly. I will tell you that it does get cold. Well, cold may be an exaggeration, but it does get chilly in some parts of the Caribbean, especially if you're in the hills of Jamaica, for example. But something else that you have to pay attention to, these players are West Indian, but play for the West Indies. So playing for the West Indies in England or in Ireland or places where it's completely separate and different from what they're accustomed to at home, the experience, I would think, would augur well for them. So this doesn't bother them very much.
I'm very keen to ask them that question now. I just want to hear it from them.
So you're not taking my word for it.
I'm not taking your word for it. I think you've been in North America far too long. I bet you anything. They're thinking, what is this weather?
Well, she did fix the issue with the line that you talked about. This is on the off-stump line. Played expertly into the deep. I'll tell you what, this is a good introduction in terms of the results. It slowed things down. 4 runs from the over already with 1 ball remaining. And that's what you wanted to have happen when you brought Kiana Joseph into the attack. Four runs from her first over, Kiana Joseph. That will make them feel a little bit better. That slowed things down a little bit. End of over 3, 24 without loss. So the pace bowlers went for 7 and 13 respectively in their 2 overs. So you've gone now to spin from both ends. This is going to be Lasia Bandaru, the young lady from the Houston area, Houston, Texas. And starts with a really good delivery, played into the offside for no run. So spin appears to have brought things back where the Pacers couldn't quite get it done this morning.
As we've seen so many times before, lack of pace makes it a lot harder to be able to power the ball away.
This is good stuff. Now that last delivery, Disha Dingra going back to a full ball. There's always an element of risk doing that. Oh, how good is this? Lasia Bandaro, really brilliant young player, and she's showing it here. Just one single coming from the first 3 balls of over number 4. So once again, spin, doing what you needed to do. Now, if you are Mehek Desai and Disha Dinkra, you have to tell yourselves that we've gotten off to a decent start here. 26 runs on the board, 2 deliveries remaining in over number 4. So we're scoring at the rate of over 7 and over. Projected score 142. That keeps us in the game. We just need to make sure that we don't take any chances. Up and over, just out of reach of Divya Saxena. And that goes away for another 4.
That's a top shot. That's a very difficult shot as well. Inside out, always a bit harder to get the sort of power because you've got to get a lot of that by yourself off your bat. And this has flown to the boundary for 4.
Well, that 4 was a lovely strike, but still only 6 runs coming from over number 4. Fast start has been slowed down a little bit. Look at the shot again.
Up and over. Loses her balance a little bit in the end, but at the time of impact, she was very well balanced. 4 gone, 30 for none.
Both batters striking it at or above 100, so that's a good start during the power play. 30 runs in the power play, well, so far in the power play with 2 overs still to come. So you have to feel like you're in a good position here. Kiana Joseph back into the attack. Pulled away. A lot of work for Divya Saxena. Will she get there? Oh, she loses her footing. I think it stops just before the boundary. The bigger concern for me is whether or not she hurt herself, Divya Saxena.
She looks like she's walking it off. Maybe just a little nimble. She's fine. She's tough. She's going to walk it off and she's going to be just fine.
You've known Divya Saxena for how long?
A while, actually. But we instantly connected because she's also got African roots.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is lovely. That is a top shot. Let's check to see if it went for 6. But regardless, up and over, extra cover. That is a shot, probably the shot of the day for me. Signaled 4 by the umpire, but this is excellent.
That's probably the shot of the tournament for me at the moment. That was some serious shot. Leans into it beautifully, gets under it. And I'm just keen to see where that's actually bounced. I'm not sure if it bounced inside the rope or not. Regardless, it's a boundary, and it's great to see her taking on the experience of Kiana Joseph.
Mehek Desai is making batting look very easy. 20 from 15, and that last shot is a shot of class. And I think that you'll find that just imbues her with more confidence. Interesting, there's now a fielder in the deep at extra cover where that 4 went. Tell you what, short of length, may have gotten away with that one, Kiana Joseph.
been a decent over. 6 runs coming off of it already. They've got 1 delivery to come. And that run rate, keep an eye on that, because that's exactly what got the Blazers in trouble, or correction, the Raptors in trouble yesterday. They weren't able to bring that run rate down. They were taking on the Washington Waves yesterday, who batted really well in that second game.
Really good stuff here from the Bellevue Blazers. 4 overs, make that 5 overs in the books. The score is 36 without loss. So 5 overs in the books. A really good start here for the Bellevue Blazers. Disha Dingra run a ball 13. Mike Desai 20 from 17, the youngster, and the spin continues. Lassia Bandaru bowling her second over. The last over of the power play coming up as we say good morning to Sheil Majumdar.
Morning, Brian. And a quintessential Seattle weather today.
Sheil, this feels like Austin in January.
Well, this is Seattle every day. What you just saw last couple of days was one of the 16 days we get sun.
So a relatively fast start here, Sheil. Pulled back to some extent in the last couple of overs with the introduction of spin, but on balance, which team would you prefer to be 2 deliveries into over number 6 with 37 on the board?
Well, this is crucial for Raptors, doesn't it? Because they're almost playing 3 games back to back. They played 2 games yesterday and once again, but this is a crucial one for them. The last one for them. Once again, they have won the toss and bowled first. So they've stuck to that pattern of theirs, right, Brian?
Now, as I was saying to Manali earlier, you know, Seattle weather being what Seattle weather is, this just, by definition, is a bowl first kind of a morning.
Yes.
If I have a ball in my hand, this is the type of weather that I want to be opening the bowling with. Yep. But the batting unit has made things look very easy by comparison. Even though the outfield isn't quite as fast as it has been, runs seem to be coming a little bit easier. But again, having said that, spin is really, or has done the job of slowing things down.
Disha Dingra is looking a little slower comparison to what she's been doing so far, sedate, so in her approach.
Disha Dingra, brilliant opening batter, representing the U.S. as long as she has. And I think that you've seen teaming with Mahek Desai gives you good things at the top of the order for the Bellevue Blazers. End of the power play, 38 without loss after 6.
It is the weekend leg of this particular competition. We expect a little more fanfare, a little more crowd. The weather is a little more kind today. It's not too warm. I pretty magnanimously on air declared yesterday there's not going to be any rain this weekend, and the weather almost came and mocked me overnight. We got some rains, and there is about 50% chances of rains tomorrow too. I hope that is outside the window of when the final is going to be played here.
Well, by no means a
Hello, welcome to Maiden Media Center, and today I have with me Jessica Forsyth, who's a council member with Redmond City. And to introduce Jessica, you know, I know Jessica as a biggest supporter for women. The amount of work she does for women throughout, not only through the city of Redmond, but throughout the state is amazing. So she's the one who basically introduces women to the political processes, to the legislative processes, trains them on it, and makes sure there's a lot of women's presence in there. Tell us a little bit about that, Jessica.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here today. This is awesome to be here and watching these women play and compete, and they're such amazing athletes, so this is just huge and incredible. But yes, I am a huge supporter of women and getting women elected and making sure that we have a chance to change policy and influence policy and lead at the state and local levels. I have worked with over 300 women to train them on how to run for office, and currently have 40 women on the ballot this year across the state, myself included. I'm actually running for the 48th House Rep position, so I'm really fully invested in making sure that women are in leadership and that we have 51% of women in leadership in House positions. And it really makes a difference because we know that women are more collaborative, reach across the aisle more, and get a lot more policy passed when they're in leadership positions. So it's great to be here to support a women's team. You know, none of this gets done without teamwork, and this is really truly just showing what teamwork truly looks like.
Oh, that's amazing. And the 48th House Rep, that is so exciting to see you run for that. You know, given the work that you have done with the grassroots, with the women out here in the region, I think in the city of Redmond, I think the state can really benefit from all of that.
That's very sweet. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it. I did just win my primary, so on to the general in November, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing. Good luck on that. And let's talk a little bit about sports, right? Cricket as a sport. What was your first foray or first introduction to cricket, watching it and playing it?
Yeah. So my first introduction to cricket was actually when my husband and I lived in New Zealand, and there's an area of land there that came out of the water after an earthquake, and everybody in New Zealand looked at it and said, that's where our next cricket pitch is going to be. So you kind of have to drive around it in the city of Wellington, and so that was my first introduction to cricket, seeing all the families out there sitting on the hill and watching the games, and it just was such a community event that was kind of my first introduction. But my first time playing it was actually because of you, and with the moms versus the elected officials game, and that's where we discovered that I'm a pretty good bowler, and I had so much fun doing that and learning how to play. I need to work on my hitting, on my batting, but bowling was super fun for me. And when I went and after I won my first election in 2019, I visited some friends and family in India, and I got some more practice in there with my nephew, and got to watch a game up in the Himalayan mountains in a small village, and it was so cool to just sit there. I still need to learn a lot of the rules, but I've been very much enjoying learning.
Man, I'm so jealous of you. You've been to Wellington? That's a place I would love to go. Now, we are here in Monroe, beautiful setting, and women's cricket is happening out there. You know, we want to kind of have a venue in Marymore Park and have good amount of competition out there, like have, women's, this exact match happen there. What are your thoughts on that?
I am really excited about the opportunity that we have in King County to get an actual professional cricket pitch built in Marymore Park. I know it's going to take a lot of collaboration, a lot of work, a lot of jurisdictions coming together to make it happen, but I think the energy is there, and especially from community. Community wants this. Community is excited to have a sport that they can relate to. We have such an amazingly diverse population on the east side that I can't imagine not having a cricket pitch on the east side, right? We need to make this happen. So I look forward to supporting however I can. A lot of jurisdictions I'm really encouraged by the conversations that have continued to happen, but we need to make this happen, and it'll be very exciting. It'll be good for the economic development on the east side. It'll be good for sound transit ridership. We got to make this happen, so I look forward to supporting however I can.
Amazing. Hopefully we can have the next version of this games at Marymore Park. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Jessica, and back to you guys.
Back here in the commentary area, great to hear from Jessica Redmond, who is City Council member. Jessica Forsyth, my apologies, who is a City Council member for the city of Redmond. And as we have a wonderful weekend here, we have several dignitaries around. So we'll be going back and forth between the commentary and the media center. But for the moment, let's look at this game. Shield 50 on the board, 8 overs up. Disha Dengra and Mahek Desai identical in terms of their score, 23 runs apiece. And I think you've
Disha
seen...
Dengra is right on top of the leaderboard for runs in this competition so far, and she's continuing her rich vein of form here in this game as well.
Well, the bowlers have been, at least the change bowlers have been relatively economical, but that fast start that you had in the first couple of overs has vaulted the Bellevue Blazers into a good position here. This is now going to be Vaishnavi Mangeshkar, who's bowling. Strike bowlers at the top didn't quite get it done today. What is significant for me is that you've already spent 3 overs from Kiana Joseph.
Yes.
So for me, she's probably your best bowler. And you've spent 3 overs trying to slow the run rate down, and that augurs poorly for you at the death if you're going to be looking to restrict them from scoring heavily.
That's a very valid point. 14-year-old Vaishnavi Mangeshkar.
That is a lovely looking shot. Did not overhit that one, Disha Dengra. Just getting on top of the bounce and getting it through that ring on the offside for yet another boundary.
She's coming into her own now. She started a little slowly, but she's finding the gaps now as we are in that consolidation phase post power play. Talking about Vaishnavi Mangeshkar, 14-year-old, I was just looking at the number of players. About 13 players out of 39 are 17 years or below. That's about 1/3. What a fantastic opportunity.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you highlighted it, the opportunity. There are individuals who are on record. And when I say individuals, I don't just mean people like you and me. Very important people in the organization of the Seattle Orcas who have stated that their intent is to build something that looks like a professional women's league later down the line. Doesn't necessarily mean it will happen this year or even next year, but it feels like the parts are there to build on something like that, and that's something that I think I want to see happen down the line.
Totally agree with that.
This is good running. Ooh, she drilled. Throw.
Interesting
Lassia
movement.
Bandar was a brilliant throw. Finish your thought.
Interesting movement in the air, and if you get to see the replay of that last ball, there was a very, very interesting movement. And it comes in the ball in the air, and Vaishnavi Mangeshkar, as she grows in strength and a little more sort of depth in her bowling, that movement in the air is only going to get more prominent and lethal. At this point, it's probably the pace is concerned. She was probably a little slower in pace, but she definitely has a very prominent movement, and that is against the breeze, and that's such a vital thing. Very good to see that.
I really hate to sound like I disagree with what you just said. Most of what you said I agree with completely. I don't think the lack of pace is a concern at all. I think you get more swing when you're not bowling as quickly. And it's more about the seam position. You saw that ball swinging in, which means that the seam is angled just a little bit towards, say, very fine leg. That is evidence of really good coaching and a good skill set. And
Well
yes,
said.
maybe 4 years from now, 5 years from now, she's able to do that at a greater pace. But in no means, or by no means, does it mean that the lack of pace is anything negative. Tenth over being bowled here by Ritu Singh. I think it's probably fair to say that with 58 runs on the board, 3 deliveries into over number 10, that the team that is happier with where they are right now, no wickets taken, is the Bellevue Blazers.
They are indeed.
This is really expertly done. Genuinely expertly done. And this partnership is growing in stature. Obviously now worth 59. It's the opening partnership. And the mix between caution and aggression and not looking to overhit the ball but just playing positively, all of that to me is just evidence of a really good start here for the Bellevue Blazers.
Ritu Singh, she's the second highest wicket taker so far, and we've spoken a lot about her multi-dimensional abilities.
Catchable and put down. Oh my goodness. This is one that Shilan Khan will want to have taken. Very, very catchable. It was dying as it got to her, so it's not an easy catch, but that's one you'll want to have taken. Catchable.
Look at that, I think, and she probably, to me, at the risk of sounding a little overcritical, she probably sat down a little too early. A step more inside and then sitting down, she would probably be a little more under the ball. It happened right in front of us, but that was an opportunity they should have taken, Raptors, because wicket is key out here.
I would agree with that completely. So 6-1 without loss after 10. It appears as though the players are going to take a quick water break. Not sure why they need it. It's frigid out here, but we'll take the break alongside them. Disha Dhingra and Mahek Desai going great guns, and the Redmond Raptors have some thinking to do. See you shortly.
Right, hydrated. Not sure they would have needed as much hydration on a day like today because it is a little chilly here. 61 on the cards. They're going at a pretty healthy run rate. Most importantly, though, they are wicketless.
Absolutely, and they may have wanted a few more runs on the board, but having wickets in the tank always gives you that freedom to go and express yourself in the next 10 overs.
And this is where I again go back to the toss and question the decision to win the toss and have a bowl first.
We did briefly talk about it, and I guess the dilemma would be the weather and the breeze. It's a perfect bowling condition, but you're absolutely right. That's the single one-track pattern they have adopted since the day one, Raptors.
And this is the issue when I see even the bowling that has come so far in the first 10 overs. Lekashetti can move the ball, but we haven't seen that sort of movement from anyone else. Very little from the other side in
Vaishnavi Mangeshkar.
Jessica Wolfgamua. She gets a bit of movement in. Lekashetti gets the movement out. We've seen Vaishnavi get a bit of seam movement. It hasn't been swing though. So the conditions you would expect would be right to get a bit of movement with the overcast, but we haven't seen anyone really, apart from Lekashetti, be able to do that.
That's a very, very good observation.
Cut away. Gets it past the fielder. Achni Pereira absolutely in the firing line today.
The way things are right now, it looks like Lekha and Jessica have been kept for the death overs. But I question they need wickets. So who do they go to? Who should be their wicket taking option here? Ritu Singh created an option last over. A chance that probably should have been taken.
Lack of pace. Slows it right down this time, Vaishnavi. And Disha Dhingra in through the shot before the ball gets to her. And that's where they've not helped themselves, right? They've bowled in decent areas at times, but when you've got the chance, when the catches are coming to you, you have to be able to hold on to them. Two of them have gone down. Pulled away, just short of the fielder as well. Catches win matches. It is as simple as that.
Totally. In this, and we've seen how many in the last couple of days, how many games got either drifted away because catches were not taken, and today they need to grab everything that comes to them.
Straight back past the bowler. And it will be a single to round off the 11th. It's 66 for none. And this is major, major trouble if you're the Redmond Raptors. We're going to head down for a quick interview as well.
Hello, welcome back to Maiden Media Center, and right now I have a council member for Redmond, Vanessa Kritze. She's been the president and the vice president of Redmond City Council as well, and she has done some amazing work at the grassroots levels and in the city of Redmond overall. So Vanessa, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here. This is so great to be here to cheer on our Redmond team today.
Yeah. So let's start about talking about your tenure with Redmond. I know you've been very passionate about youth, and you have done programs for their mental health and their well-being throughout the city. And you're very passionate about light rail as well, and how economic impacts can be made using light rail. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure, yeah. Well, it's been really exciting. I'm on my 7th year on the Redmond City Council, and actually before I was on City Council, I started as a planning commissioner. So I've spent a good part of a decade thinking about how we can make our community more livable, inclusive, and sustainable. And it's been wonderful to see some of those initiatives move forward. In particular, doing a lot of planning to think about how we can prepare our community for light rail, and now seeing it connected and thinking about the ways that people can connect, and building all around those areas and making it really easy to walk, bike, and take transit around our area has been really cool. Also making sure that we have a vibrant community, so that we have really great businesses, recreation, and that we're supporting every person in our community. So making sure that we're supporting food for families in need, and also in particular really supporting our youth and making sure we're addressing things like youth mental health, as well as mental health in our community. And part of doing that has been not only investing in kind of the typical things you might think about as mental health, like counselors, but also things like recreation, things like being able to support cricket and other types of sports and other types of programming for kids to be able to feel supported and people in our community to feel connected. So that's been really cool to just see how the community has grown and changed and how we can really build in programming that supports an inclusive community.
Oh, perfect. That's great. It's amazing to see all the work around youth and mental fitness, mental health of youth, and definitely sports is one place where they get that mental strength, right? So tell me a little bit about cricket and your first introduction to cricket and a little bit about that, yeah.
Yeah, well, I actually was lucky enough to have you introduce me to actually learn how to play cricket, which was really fun. I've been a fan of cricket for a while and really love seeing the growth of enthusiasm, especially in our community in Redmond, where we have so many people from all over the world who are huge cricket fans. And we also have some of the most amazing both youth and adult teams that are playing cricket. And I got the chance a little while back to play in a game of women electeds and other leaders versus the moms of some of the youth who are some of our champions in cricket. And while the moms did win, obviously, I did actually get some good hits and got to get the MVP award for the electeds that year, which I take as a badge of honor. But I've learned a lot, and it's been wonderful to see it grow in our community.
MVP for the electeds. That is a badge that you can wear proudly. So given all your experience around the youth and all the work that you have done, it is good to see that you're running for State House Rep, 45th District. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I'm excited this year. I'm running for the first time to serve as the newest state representative for the 45th Legislative District in position 2. So I'm running actually for the seat that Representative Larry Springer has been serving in for the last 22 years. He's retiring this year, and really excited about the opportunity to bring a really community-grounded perspective from the work that I've been doing in Redmond, but also connecting all the way across the district. The district actually goes all the way from Kirkland to Duval. So it includes the communities of Sammamish, Duval, Redmond, Kirkland, as well as parts of Woodinville. And it's been really wonderful because I've spent a lot of this year out talking with people across those communities, but really spent the last several years thinking about how we connect across those areas to be able to support really livable areas and vibrant, inclusive places. One of the areas that I'm really excited about as well, and in addition to supporting things like youth mental health and education, is also working on protecting our environment. We're sitting out here in beautiful, beautiful environment, watching our players play, but it's part of what makes Washington so special. In my day job, I've spent a lot of time working with groups across the state that help to protect the places that we love to go hiking and biking and going out kayaking and making sure that we have our natural beauty. And it's something I'm excited to do at the state level, is continue to make sure we keep Washington green as well.
No, perfect. That's great. And we are looking forward to doing this particular edition of Women's T20 Cricket at Marimore Park next year. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm very excited about that. As much as we can host in Redmond has been, I have been a big supporter of. Our council a couple years back actually passed a resolution in support of creating a Marimore cricket facility, and we really hope to see that continue forward. One thing we've done in the interim that I will share is that we've added in a lot of our parks cricket lines to make sure that there can be cricket fields on a lot of our fields in our parks in Redmond. We just finished a project recently to add some more infrastructure. So hoping that we can provide also some more practice areas as well, because that's part of what it means to have a community where everyone feels welcome.
Oh, great! This is amazing. Thanks a lot, for coming here, for watching the matches, Vanessa, and good luck for your run there.
Yeah,
thank you.
Great chat there. Always good to hear about all the future plans and potentials. And while that was all happening, we did see the first wicket go down as well. The Raptors have finally gotten a breakthrough and broken a partnership Magdasai, a handy 32 of 34 from her. And in all, and all sorts of issues on that last delivery, losing her shape completely. Disha Dingra ended the over as well, 13 gone, it's 74 for 1.
3 overs, 14, 1 for 14 for Vaishnavi Mangeshkar. We have some fur babies out here.
You have a dog, don't you?
I do.
One?
I have twins.
You have twins. Oh, that's right. You told us about the story of how they picked you.
Yeah, they picked me,
Beamer
and they're
and
cricket
Yorker.
babies. And they're named Beamer and Yorker. If they are listening at home, well, here you are. You've been mentioned on air, my boys. Well, look at that. That's always great to see when people come down with their fur babies on on a weekend cricketing morning.
Well, I don't have any fur babies. I know you do, and I know Brian does. But Brian's got a whole zoo at home. I don't know if he's told. Has he mentioned to you all the animals that he has at home?
No.
Oh, he's got a zoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a topic of
He could start a
conversation.
petting zoo.
Oh, really?
Maybe once he's retired, that's a plan B. Bit of flight, no pace. Janela Glasgow needs to get into a better position to be able to play some of these.
Sebandaro, there's a third over here. 8 for none. Well, the bowling figures, every one of them look good, but the wickets column is the worrying one at this point of time. Current run rate 5.55. Optically it might look like a little sedate, but they have all the wickets, and they potentially they've got two batters who can go on overdrive any moment at this point.
Yeah, this is the first time that we've actually seen the Raptors bowling attack struggle as much as we have. Normally they're able to get those early breakthroughs. They're able to peg away wicket-wise.
Disha Dingra, she's the top scorer so far in this tournament, has had a good strike rate. In this particular game, she's going a little conservative as far as her strike rate is concerned, but she can crank it up a notch any time, and we know what Janelia Glasgow can do.
Come through for a bye. No bat on that.
What do you think about 3 games on the trot for Raptors? They had 2 back-to-back yesterday, overnight rest, and again a game this morning. Will that have an impact?
Is it harsh for me to say the afternoon game yesterday doesn't count as much because it finished so quickly?
Yeah, it does, but mentally it's a game, although it finished early, but they lost the game so comprehensively that might just add to the fatigue if there was any.
14 overs gone, 78 for 1. See, I mean, it's not ideal to have 3 games back to back to back. But that being said, these girls play a lot of cricket. You know, your fitness needs to be in check for that. And at the end of the day, you can only control the controllables. If you get hung up on the schedule, you get hung up on the idea of, oh, well, we've got to play 3 games. You can't change that. So you might as well focus on what you can do to get through the 3 games.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. And they know coming into this tournament that there would be some that would go in their favor. There would be some part of the scheduling that is not. But that is what professional cricket is all about.
Absolutely. Pulled away. Aerial this time, and a couple of bounces over the rope for 4. You were briefly talking about the strike rate at which Disha Dingra is going, but this is a sort of ability that she has. She can convert that into a faster rate in no time.
And she takes on
Pulled away.
Kiana Joseph, their strike bowler. She's in for a final over.
Swept in the gap, and how well is this placed? It's going to be back-to-back boundaries.
There we go, 46 of 45. She has cranked up 2 boundaries back to back.
Just 4 runs away from pulling up her second half century in this series. Gets nice and forward, clears that front leg as well to be able to get her arms through it. Around the wicket, short, wide, thank you for 4 more, and that's going to be another half century for Disha Dhingra. She has been outstanding with a bat in this series, not just today, but overall. Comes in and gets her side in a very good position up at the top. Appreciated by her teammates, and rightly so. 50 of 46 deliveries.
What an impact she's had this tournament so far. She's every single game she's come out meaning business. In this game, took her time, and when she got the opportunity, she's just pounced on it. 3 boundaries back to back onto 50.
This is poor bowling from Kiana Joseph.
Yes.
The line has just not been right from her today. Overpitched down the ground, and just 1 bounce to the fielder. Momentum's shifted. Those 3 boundaries in a row have just started to open up the shoulders and accelerate the innings. That is more trouble now if you're a Redmond Raptors fan.
The kind of shot making that she did in this over, a couple of balls just getting down on her knees and almost sort of those pickup shots towards cow corner. Those are slog sweeps. Her intent is pretty clear. She's going to go for it now, and they have the cushion now. They have some big hitters to come behind them, and these two can do a lot of hitting.
Two off 8, Janelia Glasgow. She's not finding her rhythm out there. And at this point, I'll be more comfortable if you could just get Disha Dhingra back on strike instead of dead batting delivery after delivery. End of the over, 15 gone, 91 for 1.
Yep. This is a very similar pattern we saw at the day 1. She took some time, Janelia, but then suddenly she has the ability to just crank up the scoring whenever she wants.
Change in the comm box. It's going to be Mr. Brian Walters. And Mr. Brian Walters is going to tell us about what he thinks the score is going to be at the end of 20 overs. Boulder right through the gate. Looking to go across the line. The ball didn't rise as much as she was expecting. It's Lasya Bandaru who gets the big fish. Disha Dhingra is going to have to walk back. It's been an outstanding innings from her. 51 of 48 deliveries from her today, but it's going to be the second wicket.
She decided very early on that she was going to play a cross-batted shot, Disha Dhingra. That ball is bouncing about 2/3 of the way up. That's his. So it's not often that you criticize a player, as we see this replay again. Look how open she is. Open all the way up, lost her balance. The ball is landing, again, 2/3 of the way up, middle stump. To me, that's a ball that you play with a straight bat.
Yeah, it's an awkward length, isn't it? But if you take a look at how awkward the position was that she got into, she's cramped herself for room. And because of that, she's not been able to get the connection in front of her. She's not been able to pick up that ball in front of her. We're going to head down to the media box as we've got the mayor in the house.
Welcome back to Maiden Media Center, and right now I have with me Deputy Mayor of Bellevue, Dave Hamilton. Dave, such an exciting match between Bellevue and Redmond. What do you reckon would happen?
Well, I reckon what'll happen is that the Bellevue Blazers are going to come out on top. They're going to play a good, hard game, but come together and play hard and come back with a victory.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think it's no matter what the result, this is what's happening here right now with women's cricket is very exciting. You know, even before you were elected as a council member on the city of Bellevue, you did a lot of work for sports and youth sports itself. You know, raising levies, you know, getting a lot of action done, you know, bills passed. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, sure. You know, my family moved to Bellevue about 50 years ago, so my brother and I played sports in Bellevue. I had 6 kids that I helped raise, and so 4 daughters and 2 sons. And so when they were growing up in Bellevue, we wanted to get out, and they played a wide variety of sports, and I did whatever I could to just support the effort. I was also involved on the Parks levy that was passed a couple of years ago, so that was an effort to continue to build on what Bellevue's done. So as far as swimming and pickleball and being on trails and just every opportunity that the community could have in being active and having fun and playing as a team.
Yeah. And right as we say that, Giovanna hits a big 6. You know, Giovanna, you've known Giovanna for quite some time and supported her quite a bit. So, you know, it's great to see her play right now. Let's talk about your tenure at Bellevue. You're the deputy mayor now, 2.5 years at Bellevue City Council. And I'm sure you're making big strides into helping sports and Bellevue come together.
Absolutely. You know, it's a good team effort. So the Bellevue City Council is a good group of folks, and we work really hard together. And so always looking for opportunities to support youth and to support the community and to support everything that goes on kind of regionally as well. So working with neighboring cities, with the county and the state to bring about all sorts of good positive change. And I think we've had a lot of good success. The city of Bellevue has been actively planning for many, many years. We really do a great job, try to hold things together really firmly, and we've done really well at it. And so I feel like my role is to come in and to build on so much of the good work that's been done and to help kind of push things forward. And I've been pleased to see with the success we've had.
Perfect. Now we have such beautiful women's tournament happening out here. Next year, hopefully, we can play at Marimore Park, you know, something that Bellevue and King County have been working together on to make sure we have a home there. Let us tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think what we have seen is the enthusiasm and the support and the community really coming together, getting behind cricket. So in a sense, we have all of that, but what we need is the facility where folks can come together. And what we're contemplating at Marimore is like the ideal facility. It's close to where a lot of folks are. It's close to where some of the kids play cricket. And what we're contemplating there would be a facility that would serve the community at many different levels. And it would bring folks from around the world and around the region to see cricket and to experience it and to have a lot of fun and community gathering that cricket brings.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave, and that's how wicket fall there. Thanks a lot, Dave. We really appreciate all your efforts.
All right.
Great. Okay. Short and sweet, Dave.
Yeah.
Breakthrough.
Yeah.
It's the 3rd one gone, and it is the set batter as well. Oh, I say set, but
That's what to say.
didn't score quite a lot of runs. She's been out there for a little while. Janelia Glasgow, excellent delivery. She's beaten in flight. Wasn't expecting the dip, and she's played all around it. Bails are off, and she's off the field as well. It's 101 for 3.
One for 3 indeed. Just the pace off is what does it here. She'd been bowling seam up exclusively, but this is a pace off delivery, almost like an off spinner does. And it pitched and actually turned a little bit. Had it gone on its original trajectory, it would have missed leg stump, but it came back and took the top of leg stump. Expert piece of bowling by Vaishnavi Mangeshkar. Stanley's younger. Oh, hello. So I'll tell you this. What I'm seeing here is evidence of actually thinking while you're bowling. You're coming up and you're bowling to an international player. You lob it up there because you've been bowling with pace on, pace on, pace on, pace on. You change up to a pace off delivery. That to me says you're paying attention to the game and you're looking to change the way you bowl and not be as predictable. That is expert to me.
What she has been able to do really well is get a bit of seam movement off the surface, and that's that deviation that you talk about, Brian. Haven't seen a lot of swing though, apart from Leka Shetty, their opening bowler. I'm really keen. We see Vandana coming with some snack tray over there, and I'm just hoping there's a warm samosa in there. Oh, well, coffee won't help me, Sheil. I don't drink
What was
coffee.
that? You said
I
a
do
warm...
eat samosa, Sheil. It's a chilly day. I think it's a perfect day for some warm samosas. What do you think, Brian?
Samosa, mimosa, all the same to me. So it's going to be an interesting passage of play, this. For that young lady who's in the center of your screen, Captain Giovanna Arras, she's hit 1 of 2 sixes in the match so far, but she can be destructive. Strike rate of 140 coming in, and I'm expecting for her to realize just 21 balls left and for her to do that. I'll tell you what, Leka Shetty will want to have taken that one. It was in the air for a very long time. As I started saying, I was expecting for her to be aggressive, and this is one that Leka Shetty will want to have taken, Monali.
It's safe to say it's not been their day today. That catch is a pretty good example of why you need to get your hands up and above the eye line. As soon as those hands drop, there's a blind spot, that ball will go through. But when you've put down 4 catches and your bowlers haven't been able to create additional chances to pick up wickets, it sums up your day with the ball.
Last 19. This young lady who is on strike now with the wind coming from the north, I would imagine would want to take a single here and then tee off in over number 18.
I don't know if this is going to be a no ball, but it is definitely going to be a boundary. It's a loosener from Vaishnavi. Full toss, pulled away for 4. And not given a no ball, so that's going to round off the over as well. I am very surprised that's not been given a no ball.
I think the square camera will give us a better angle on that. To me, looking at it straight, it looked like it was in the process of dipping. So I think the square camera, the square angle, will give us a better look. Here, look at this. Look where the ball is coming from, right of your screen.
That's a no ball.
I would disagree with that. I would disagree. I think that is just okay. Because she's squatted down a little bit. The ball is still dipping. She plays the ball about, I'd say, 2 feet in front of her. With the ball dipping, that to me is a fair delivery.
17 gone, 1 away for 3.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right, Ritu Singh in for her final over of her spell. Shot, smashed, straight down the ground. And it will be cut off. Jessica Willith-Gamua in the deep. It's a good thing she didn't get a hand to that. Ritu Singh, it might have been a bruised finger.
I don't think that Ritu Singh, that Giovanna Arras minds for a second that Jessica Willith-Gamua pulled off that excellent piece of fielding in the deep, because she wants some of the action from this end and she wants to attack Ritu Singh. Now, Ritu Singh is an off spinner, turning the ball away from her. Interesting matchup.
Poor line. Helped on its way for 4.
Well, when I said that she probably wanted to bat from this end, I meant that she wanted to elevate the ball down the ground with the wind. But this line begs to be pulled around the corner. So Rita Singh will want that ball much more outside the line of off stump. You're not going to trouble Giovanna Aras or any left-handed batter bowling that line from around the wicket.
You didn't give me your predictions for the score.
I mean, it's kind of late now. I thought that 135, 140 was on the cards. 140, I think they'll be disappointed if they only end up at 140. The best bowlers have all been done. The ones who were expensive are the only ones who were left. So Lekka Shetty and Jessica Woodard-Kamoa are the two remaining bowlers. Rita Singh still has 4 deliveries to go here. I would think they'd be targeting somewhere around 140.
Oh, that's going to be runs. Unlucky runs, but it will be runs. Good running, excellent running this as they push through for 2.
Well, you certainly would not have had a slip fielder in this position or in this state in the game, but a slip fielder certainly would have been able to cut that one off. But more runs here on offer.
Well, I can't blame her for that. She clearly knows what she needs to do to keep the ball away from the swinging arc. Unfortunately, she's just gone a bit too wide on that occasion.
It's excellent for me, exacerbating that angle going across the left-hander.
A slight shimmy down the ground, and Divya Saxena might just have a run out here. No, she won't. Just hesitated to get the ball back quicker.
Well, Aliyah Lane would have been going to the danger end, but the end that they really would have wanted to target is Giovanna Aras's end, but she does make it back in time.
Plenty of protection in the deep for exactly that reason, and it's a single. Final delivery to come in her spell. Rita Singh, she is wicketless. I think she'll be more concerned to finish it off with a dot.
I think she'd want to give up a single here because you want Aliyah Lane to be back on strike and not Giovanna Aras. I don't think the worst thing in the world for the Redmond Raptors is if this is a single. And I think Aliyah Lane knows that. She dead bats that one. To keep it as a dot, it will be Giovanna Aras to be on strike to start over number 19. End of 18, 119 for 3.
Interested to understand why I've seen so many dead bat shots in the last few overs. Dead bat, I mean, we're talking towards the end of an innings, we're dead batting dot balls when we could be hitting them into the gap. And I'm not talking about just this one specifically, but you've got to try and at least rotate the strike.
I heard you say that earlier, and I agreed with it when you said it. In this instance, with the batter on strike, 3 from 4, and the non-striker, Giovanna Aras, 24 from 12, I want Giovanna Aras to be batting next, which is why
You've got 7 wickets in hand. Have a go.
The one who is most likely is the one with the highest strike rate, 147.
But
that's who you want to strike.
She's got the license to go for it right now. Now, if you've got 2 wickets in hand, I might agree with you. But with 7 wickets in hand, I want to see both of these guys going for it. It makes absolutely no sense.
One has faced 4 balls. The other has 24 runs against their name. I'm going with, I think this worked out exactly the way that they would have wanted it to.
Chopped on. And that's going to be the end of Giovanna Aras. Lekka Shetty, who continues to bowl so well, will get a wicket to her name again. That is going to be 4 down now. 119 for 4. It looks like Aliyah Lane might have to swing her bat after all.
This one didn't quite bounce as much as it was expected. And she's looking to pull that from well outside the line of off stump, but just gets the under edge, Giovanna Aras. And Lekka Shetty with a bit of a stare down there, all in good nature, of course. But she would have wanted to stay there a little bit longer toward the back end of the innings. Forget what I said about 140. That's no longer going to be realistic, I don't think. Disha Kaverapakam will be coming to the crease. And just another handful of deliveries left, 10 of them in fact. And you asked me for my number, Manali. You never gave me yours. What is your number? Well,
You have my phone number.
oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Understand.
Your estimate of the score is what I mean.
Oh, I want to say they should be able to push 135.
They're
They
not going to
should be
push
able to.
135 now, given that you've lost a couple of wickets. Dishika Verapakam.
It's a T20. You've got to go from ball one. I don't want to hear any excuses about it. Into the death. Oh, you've got to swing, and she does. It will get her off strike, and she will pick up a single as well. That's it. The intent, the ability to take those chances. 120 does come up.
The intent was there. The awkwardness of the bounce, I think, was something that worked in her favor there. Just tremendous bounce after the ball pitched. But you'll take that single. Now up to Aaliyah Lane. You've seen her with the ball. She's a brilliant bowler. But she's now going to be asked to do it with the bat.
Manages just the right amount to bat on that. Well placed.
Expertly guided through the vacant slip area. So a couple of singles after the wicket. This is turning into a really, really good over for Lekha Shetty. And expensive in the one over that she bowled. Well, relatively expensive. Had 3 wides to start with. But she's bowling really well here.
Are you surprised she's only going to get to bowl 2 overs?
I'm not, because the spinners did so well relative to the fast bowlers at
She's
the
your
beginning.
best bowler.
Clearly. But again, you've pulled things back with the spinners. I think you would have wanted, especially with the big hitters when Disha Dengra and Mahek Desai were going great guns. I think that would have worked the way that they would have wanted it to.
Well, I don't know, Brian. I don't think much at all has worked the way they've wanted to today.
Are you still... Oh, what did you say, 130?
19 overs gone, 122 for 4. I said I would have liked to see them to get to 135.
135.
But this is the sort of impact Lekha Shetty brings. 3 runs and a wicket. And to me, it is absolutely mind-boggling that your premier pace bowler is going to finish her spell
With
and
2
the
overs.
game with just 2 overs.
Now, Jessica Willett-Gamoa, her first over went for 13. And that 13 included a lovely 6, what we classed at the time as a shot of the day, probably a shot of the tournament. It will be interesting to see whether or not she can replicate the success that Lekha Shetty had in her second and final over. For her, the penultimate over the innings. And 122 feels like the lower side of what they would have wanted, the Bellevue Blazers.
Oh, she's copped that one. She would have liked to put it away. And a cheeky little smile from
That's
Jessica.
That is the perfect description of that smile. Really intelligent bowling also. Pace off. So that shot was played about a week early.
That was a smile that said, "Oh, did that hurt?"
Yeah.
Good. No pace. And it's placed away for a single. I will need to... Am I doing the post-match? I'm not doing the post-match. You're doing the post-match. Could you do me a favor and ask the skipper why her 2 opening bowlers only bowl 2 overs each? I just want to understand the thought process.
So you're a commentator and a producer now.
What do you mean a producer?
A swing and a miss on that delivery. And Jessica Willett-Gamoa continues with the huge grin, because she knows that these batters want to hit her and they're not getting any pace to work with. Really expert last over this by Jessica Willis-Gamua.
This one will find the boundary. It's in the gap and it's well struck. I wonder if there's a return cheeky smile on that.
there's not going to be a cheeky smile here. Really well played. These young ladies playing through that extra cover region, which is not easy. I've seen a number of really excellent shots in that part of the field so far.
We'll take a look at the grip that Jessica Willis-Gamua has
Cross
on the
seam.
ball. And it's not really for any sort of negation of swing, but it is to be able to get those cutters in.
Number one, to get those cutters in. Number two, sometimes when you grip it cross seam and it pitches and hits the seam, you get some extra bounce that way. So that could potentially be part of the reason. At this stage, I would think she just wants to run up and aim at the base of leg stump with the last ball to go here.
Down the track, surely they're going to push 2 runs here. And a slightly wayward throw will mean they're going to come back for 3. In fact, how outstanding is this? Very good awareness from this shot. Turned around for that third. Realized that the wayward throw had the backup very far behind. And 3 runs will get them to 132 for 4 in their 20 overs. This is a total with the sort of bowling lineup that they have that they can defend.
I would agree with that. Probably the person who's most disappointed in the fact that they've gotten to 132 is Sheil Majumdar, whose prediction was 131. And so you'll see the scorecard here. Disha Dhingra leading from the top along with Mahet Desai, 51 and 32 respectively. Wobbled in the middle, Janelia Glasgow only 2 from 10, and then Giovanna Aras with a strike rate of 171 and scoring 24 runs, but they sort of petered out towards the end. The last 5 overs, they went for 41 runs, but they were at a rate that would have had them much higher than that for a while, and so they'll be a bit disappointed in that as we look at the bowlers.
It's been an interesting day for the bowlers today. Chances were created, catches were put down, a wicket to Lekha Shetty. She deserved to bowl her final 2 overs, as did Jessica Willis-Gamua. Didn't get a wicket today, and those runs are not quite an accurate representation of how well she's actually bowled today. Kiana Joseph struggled with a line, wasn't able to get a breakthrough. Bandaru did get the 1 wicket, and Ritu Singh bowled a 4-over spell. Breakthroughs didn't come as often as she'd have liked, and it was Mangeshkar 2 wickets to her name today, and fairly economical as well for her 21 runs in her 4 overs. The bowlers will probably have appreciated the catches being held onto today. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and they will finish for 132 for 4, the Bellevue Blazers. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, the Raptors need 133 to win this game.
Well, if one wondered what it felt like to play cricket on either the North or the South Pole, it would probably not be very dissimilar to this. I would estimate the air temperature at, I don't know, 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that might be an exaggeration. But
it's 20 centigrade.
It does feel very chilly. But the bigger story here, 133 runs is what the Redmond Raptors need to be able to win. Now, they will have a much more enthusiastic approach, I would think, because of the fact that that young lady, top of your screen right now, Kiana Joseph, is back in the lineup. She was out yesterday due to injury, but she's back in the lineup opening the batting. And one feels, Sheil Majumder, that whether or not the Redmond Raptors get to 133 will depend very heavily on that young lady.
No questions about that. She's been the impetus. Whenever she's played, she's given them a blistering start. They would hope her to do that again, and this time to carry on for slightly more longer time. If that happens, they give themselves a great chance.
And that young lady in the center of your screen now, Aaliyah Lane, is a brilliant fast bowler. This, to me, is a very high-class matchup. Hammered away for 4. One deliver in, 4 runs on the board.
And there we go. They matched up yesterday, and we saw there some friendly banter between them, and they don't waste any opportunity. The first one, and Kiana Joseph draws the first blood there.
Now, if you remember yesterday, the bowling was much more hostile. It was more at the body of Kiana Joseph. This is short and wide. This is easy runs. I would imagine that the next delivery is not going to be wide, and it's going to be just as pacey, something on the body of the batter. That's how to keep her quiet.
Yeah, it was stand and deliver in that particular shot.
Ooh. Well, it's the opposite of what I just said. It's short and even wider, and signaled as such by umpire Mohan Misala. So look, 133 is a decent score. If I'm not mistaken, and you might correct me if I'm wrong, that's the second highest score in the tournament so far.
Yes.
But you can get to 133 rather, very easily if you're not in your disciplines. If the bowling side is not in their disciplines is what I mean. Pulls it away into the deep. Tell you what, that's a good-looking shot. She was on top of the bounce that time. Good swivel pull. The field was set appropriately for that shot, though.
Yeah, and we've seen Kiana Joseph. She is a very strong hand-eye coordination player. She trusts her hands quite a bit. Sometimes may not be so much on the footwork, but she's got tremendous eye and tremendous. She meets the ball with amazing timing and force. And she has obviously seen Ali Aline quite a bit, and she has a measure of what it is. To your question about chasing 133, the power play is critical because the slow bowlers will have their say. We have seen this consistently over the last 3 days now.
Kami Desai. And she will want to essentially support Kiana Joseph here. Spraying it around just a little bit. The line isn't exactly right yet for Leah Lane. In the context of knowing that there are runs on the board, you sort of have that pressure built up, and particularly since this is essentially the last game, not essentially, it is the last game before the finals for the Redmond Raptors. So you think, and I may ask a question after this delivery. Lovely looking shot, punched through that mid-wicket area for probably just a couple. In fact, it goes all the way for 4. That is a high-class shot.
It is, indeed. Well timed, waited for that ball, worked the pace around. It's coming into the body. It was a no ball, and it was a no ball. So she is having a bit of a issue with her extras here. That's 4 no balls there.
I missed the no ball call, so that's all kinds of trouble here because this is now a free hit. And Kami Desai was very elegant with that on drive, getting it in the gap between mid on and mid wicket. I suspect that there'll be less elegance about this coming in shot here.
Once again.
Oh, trouble. It is going to be another free hit, and they'll get a wide on top of that. So, and I say a wide, I mean 2 wide. So it's still going to be a free hit. And now who is on strike for the free hit?
Kiana Joseph. And no guesses about that, what she's going to be eyeing on this particular ball.
Because that ball actually trickled away far enough that they could have potentially run 2. But Kiana Joseph immediately puts up the stop sign. I want some of this. She is going to be bowling around the wicket. This is an interesting move to Kiana Joseph. It's a free hit, but around the wicket to me says she's going to target the body. Feelers in the deep on the leg side, but, oh, my apologies. She stays over the wickets, and that's an excellent delivery. Off just for a split second, it appeared as though she was going to go around the wicket, but she ends up just staying over. A dot ball, but a bit of a rough start here for Leah Lane.
Yeah. An absolutely unreal start that she would not be hoping for. Just half an over gone so far. We've seen so much. It's already 14.
This is better. The width was not there this time. And look, if you have a scenario where there's a batter who's injured, what you want is for them to run as much as possible. You don't want to give any free hits. Free hits in the sense that they'll score easily, boundaries and so on. And I think a better plan of action is to target her body, close to her. Get the ball on sort of leg stump rising in that area. Now, that's way too straight, and that's a really good stop. That saved 4 runs.
Once again, wide ball. Now, I suspect here when I look at she's getting a lot of pace, but we are having the breeze in the opposite direction today. It was from this particular end, from left to right, the last couple of days. Today it's right to left, and she's getting a lot of her balls wider. So I suspect how much of this breeze has got to do with the pace that she's bowling.
Again down the leg side, again free runs. They'll get, in fact, they'll just walk. They will not come back for the other run here. There'll be 2 extra wides, but this is a bit of a shocker of an over for Leah Lane. He's excellent bowler, not quite showing it so far today.
There probably was an opportunity to run 2 there. And there's already a lot of runs, but the ball trickled down and took some time for a fielder to reach the ball. There could have been, if they would have pushed, they would have probably gotten 2 there. 17 without loss.
Quick single.
Quicks.
Now, I'll go back to the fact that Kiana Joseph was out of the lineup yesterday due to injury. Don't know what injury she suffered. My suspicion is that that's part of the reason why, number one, she didn't run the second run for the no ball, for the free hit. That also might have been because she wanted the strike. But on this occasion, she easily could have run 2 runs, possibly even 3, had she been fully fit. So that's something to pay attention to. Might just be struggling with something still here. On the leg side. Oh, it's another no ball. Oh, my goodness. A bit of a shocker of an over continues as umpire Mohan Misala signals no ball and a free hit.
This is an absolutely forgettable over for Ali Aline. For all the experiences that she's bringing to this side, she would, for her own standards, want to hold a much higher and better performance for her team.
Huge swing and a miss. Ultimately, the no ball does not hurt, but still a bit of a shocker of a first over. 18 runs come from it. Make that 19 runs coming from that first over. And the end of 119 without loss. Here is how big that over is with the loose deliveries and everything that you've had in that over. That one over brings the required rate down to run a ball.
That is huge. You would not want, especially in a critical game like this, especially from a Raptors point of view, they wouldn't have asked for a better booster, better than that kind of over. They should take that as a positive and build on that. They certainly feel, they should feel good after that particular thing. As far as
waving there, that young lady in the white is the mother of Giovanna Aras. That is Jane Aras. Giovanna Aras directing traffic in the field, and she knows that her team has some making up to do here because that first over was a bit of a loose one. And so Chetna Prasad immediately going to spin to start over number 2. Camera Desai on strike, 5 from 2. It's interesting. 5 runs for each batter, and you get out of the first over with 19 runs on the board.
Yep.
So it is a shocker of an over that yields so many extras. And that's something that you're absolutely going to have to clean up.
They need to put that behind the back. They can't keep thinking about it. It's done. There's still a lot to play for in this game. And the Blazers are a very, very competent side. They have a lot of different abilities. Chetna Prasad is one of them. She's one of the very, very competitive spin bowlers.
Tell you what, 3 dots, not particularly accurate in terms of bowling. 2 of those 3 balls were short enough to have been put away, but I suspect she'll want to pitch these up a little bit more, Chetna Prasad. But it's results that matter. 4 straight dots to open over number 2.
These are the kind of things we see, especially when you have a player like Kiana Joseph who likes to feed on momentum. And if you disrupt the momentum, sometimes they tend to do something unnatural.
Up and over. Won't get to the boundary. There's protection at cow corner, so they'll just get 1. You mentioned Kiana Joseph. How does Kiana Joseph play this last one? Let's just assume for purposes of observation that she can't run as much as she'd ordinarily want to. How does she play this last ball of this over?
But she would try and take a single and take the over next over so that she can get majority of the strike there. Or with the way Chetna has bowled, there were a couple of loose balls which went unattacked. If one of those comes in Kiana's corner, that's going. That's traveling for sure.
Oof. Almost as though she wanted to overhit that one. It was short, but there was no pace on it, and it died as it got toward Kiana Joseph. Ends up with a dot. Excellent first over for Chetna Prasad. Just 1 run coming from it. End of 2. 20 without loss.
Kiana Joseph had committed herself to the back foot, had gotten out of the line, and by the time the ball reached to her, after pitching it, reduced pace, it was a little low and wider. She couldn't reach up there. But it was short of length for sure. It's just the pace that beat her there. So there's a lot of, looks like there's going to be some change of fielding.
So Giovanna Aras goes with now Janelia Glasgow, it appears. First over bowl by L.A. Elaine was extremely expensive, so you immediately get a change here. And that's a good start, just going past the outside edge. Janelia Glasgow.
Giovanna Aras is still not bowling after that first game, so that's a bit of a handicap for the team because she is one of their frontliners. So they will have to find those overs from elsewhere. And with that first over from Elaine, the headache only grows for her.
That is a great stop at backward point. Disha Dhingra showing how it's done. That's how you want to support your bowler. You mentioned Giovanna Aras and her bowling. Obviously one of the primary pace bowlers. but she's carrying an injury. And relevant to this part of the conversation, that injury is on her left knee. So if you're a right-handed fast bowler, your left knee is your plant knee.
Yes.
That is exactly why you don't want to attempt to bowl, because you'll end up exacerbating the injury, or I should say exacerbating the effect of the injury. But look, a very frenetic first over, 19 runs came from it, but the 9 balls since that have only yielded 2 runs. So this is a good comeback for the Bellevue Blazers.
And a lot of that first over was an error from the bowler, and we didn't see the batters taking it away. Besides a couple of big shots, it's the bowlers, the erratic line, and a couple of boundaries as a result of that. Janelia here is mixing it up.
Crashed away through the offside for 4. Just a little bit of width. You've seen throughout this weekend or this tournament, anytime the ball is getting too wide to the lefties, 4 runs through the offside.
That's absolute meat and drink for Kiana Joseph. Wide outside the off stump. She's not going to miss any of those. 8.82 current run rate. At one time it was 40 in the first over.
I happened to glance down at my sheet earlier and it said projected score 560. Appeal. Umpire Mohan Misala says no. Good comeback delivery. I think we said it earlier. You have to be straight and on the body of Kiana Joseph. If you give her any room outside off stump, or if you're going down the leg side, she can easily score from those. And that is the end of over number 3, 25 without loss.
Chetna Prasad and Janelia Glasgow, they're pulling things back quite admirably. Six runs from the last 2 overs. And they're going to continue with Chetna Prasad here. The 3 bowlers that I have been very impressed from Blazers: Chetna Prasad, Disha Kaveri Pakam, and Mahek Desai. They're 3 frontline spinners, and Janelia Glasgow is also been used as a slow bowler here.
Cut away. That's a good looking shot. Not a lot of width, but she does get it through that backward point area for 4 more.
That's good. Kami Desai was taking some few deliveries. We saw that last over in Chetna's last over. She let go some of the loose ones, but this time it's good to see that she rocked back and found some gap in the square of the offside. She should not let the momentum go down. That will put undue pressure on Kiana.
I don't think you're going to run quick singles at this stage. So Chetna Prasad, really economical typically. Want to be on the right line. You can't be too wide either to the lefty or the righty. Oh, that almost trickled back onto the stump. So good couple comeback deliveries after that boundary.
It'll be interesting to see what happened there. Looks like it sharply came inside. Ooh. Turn and bounce onto the body, the previous one. Just nicely played there.
Keep making the point. Take away the first over, you only have 11 runs on the board. So 1 ball remaining here in over number 4. Believe it or not, the teams are neck and neck given their respective places at this stage of the innings. I'll see what I mean after that, or after this. Can't bowl there. Absolutely cannot bowl there. That is a great piece of fielding in the deep. That is Disha Dingra down there, and that by all means should have been 4. She comes off with a really good stop that prevents, in fact, saves 3 runs. So very soon we'll be going back to the media center. We'll get that interview going as soon as possible. But for the moment, that is the end of over number 4, 31 without loss.
Yes, yeah, and we definitely support this. We want sports to be, in our backyard.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
That'll be easy.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
And I'll pass the mic when you're answering, and you'll pass it back when I'm asking questions, yeah? Or you can,
on my phone or
you know,
oh, wow.
yeah, he'll take it and give it to me. Welcome back to Maiden Media Center. Right now I have another guest with me, Vivek Prakriya, who's basically a Redmond City Council member, and he's the youngest council member in the state. Oh, the review.
Thanks for that lovely chat as we head back down to the middle. It is a review for a run out, and she's home quite comfortably in the end. I'm quite surprised it had to go upstairs for that one. If that is in
Looked
fact
like pretty straightforward. She was well home. I'm not sure if it's a run out they're calling for.
It's a decent start, this, with the bat, though. It's actually one of the better starts that we've seen from the Raptors so far in the series.
After that totally forgettable first over, they've pulled things back a little, the Blazers. But the big thing about Raptors is they haven't lost a wicket. They usually tend to lose a couple of wickets after a quick start.
Yeah, and that's just been the issue, hasn't it? It's the conversion of the start into something a bit more consistent as the innings progresses. Just waiting on a replay here, in case you're wondering what the delay is for.
Cami Desai, she's pairing about 19 deliveries for her 12. For the Raptors, they're not just battling the chase out here, but they also have an eye on the points table. They'll have to do it as we see the replay once again.
That doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary to me. It continues to be a slightly chilly day here.
We can see the players feeling the chill as well.
Yeah, they're the ones running around. Right, what are we looking for here? She's left the ball. It's nowhere close to the stumps. She's grounded her bat again.
Looks like they're trying to find the right delivery in the right replay there. There were two different deliveries played. And this is the one where she goes down the wicket.
Oh, that's what we're looking for. We find the right delivery.
And the umpire has given it out. So Cami Desai, she is short of her ground. The bat is still in the air. And the bails have been dislodged. So that was the replay that they were waiting for. And after review, she's been given out. So the first wicket goes down, Manali.
Does partnership broken, and this is where we start to see the wheels come off normally for the Raptors. But not a lot of runs needed from here on. They need 100 more from this spot right here from 92 deliveries. We've seen one decent partnership a couple of games ago between Divya Saxena and the captain Anika Kalan. They need to try and do that today. It is going to be the end of their tournament if they can't win this one.
Absolutely, and they will have to probably, while they have because the first over, they've kept the asking rate in check. I mean, it's still about that run a ball thereabouts. But they will have to score it and get this runs a little too faster because their net run rate is really low. And if they have to make it count, they can't obviously do anything for the last game that is coming up after this. But in their control is this particular game, and they can define the destiny. For that, they will have to go. And Kiana Joseph, her presence is supremely important in that pursuit.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. She's going to be key up at the top. She does have the firepower. She's got the strength to be able to get those consistent boundaries as well. It's going to round off the fifth over as well. 33 for 1.
6.6 is the current run rate required.
Hey, welcome back again to Maiden Media Center. Right now I have again Vivek Prakriya with me. He is a Redmond City Council member, and he's the youngest council member in the state. He was only 19 when he was elected in the primary, and then 20 when I actually got the position. Vivek, welcome. Tell us a little bit more about how you got involved with politics and the city.
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you, Juggin, for having me here. Thank you, everybody who helped put on this event. My name is Vivek Prakriya. I'm a council member from the city of Redmond. I believe also the youngest elected official in the state of Washington. And I got involved in politics starting at the age of 15, actually. I was one of the first interns for Congresswoman Susan Del Bene on the campaign side. I did some work with my local party, and starting in 2024, I started showing up to council meetings in Redmond. You know, I was like, what does council actually do on a week-to-week basis? And I went to one meeting. It was so interesting that I came back every week for about a year before I decided to run. And it wasn't an easy race. I ran against a two-term incumbent, but yeah, managed to win by 30 points last November. And here we are now, doing the work, serving the people, and governing. So it's been quite a ride, but I am so excited to be doing the job and serving the city that I've lived in my entire life. You know, lifelong Redmond resident who grew up going to Redmond's public schools. So it's been quite the honor.
Amazing. All you young kids out there, Vivek is someone to look up to and learn from, and getting involved at 15 and actually being a council member when he was 20. That's amazing, Vivek. So Vivek, tell me, how much exposure do you have to cricket and any of the cricket experiences you have?
Yeah, so growing up and growing to school in Redmond, you're surrounded by a very, very diverse community. Particularly Redmond is over 40% Asian. So I wouldn't say it was the most often thing, but maybe once every few weeks or so, actually, when I went to Ben Franklin Elementary, we would play cricket on the big field, me and a number of my friends. And I would go to India every year, and I wouldn't go to, I think this was before the T20 League was formed in India, but I would go to like the local cricket. My dad's side of the family is from Vishakhapatnam, and they had this local cricket league out there. So go to their games and also play occasionally next to the beach road. So I can't say I'm the biggest cricket player. No one is out here calling me the Sachin Tendulkar of Redmond, but I am a fan of the sport.
Oh, that's great. And it's great to see that we've been able to bring women's cricket out here, the first edition of Seattle Orcas Women's T20 out here in Monroe. We would love to have play this edition next year in Marymore Park, which is like right in Redmond's backyard. What's your view on that?
Yeah, so I actually live pretty much in the Overlake region of Redmond, right next to Marymore Park. And like I said, Redmond has a very, very diverse community. I'm sure many of them would love to see, just like me, the ability to play cricket right in Marymore Park. So I am very supportive. Marymore Park is not in the jurisdiction of the city of Redmond. It's in the jurisdiction of King County. But I would love to see this project happen. In addition to that, I want to make sure that the facilities that we already have at Marymore Park are still accessible for the many residents who use them. I want to make sure that this cricket stadium doesn't disrupt any of that, but I am very supportive of bringing cricket to Marymore Park. This needs to happen, and it needs to happen now, especially with the light rail. We are more connected as a region than we have ever been. So I'm very excited to see this project come to fruition.
Vivek, very well said, because what we have is a cricket community park. It's not a cricket stadium, it's a cricket community park. The park will stay the same, but it'll add that international cricket venue to it, which can be upscaled or downscaled, and our park will look the same. So it's great that the design is done that way. But thanks a lot, Vivek, for coming to watch the game, and hopefully we can do this again in Marymore Park.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Juggin. Thank you, everybody, for making this happen.
Thank you.
And go Redmond. I know it's not looking so great right now, but I have faith. I have to represent Redmond. Go Redmond.
Go Redmond. Thank you.
Done well there on the fielding effort in the deep. That ball was racing. Gets it on the bounce. Keeping themselves in the game here, the Redmond Raptors. Going at a decent rate. They need 90 from 80 from here on. And it is Kiana Joseph taking the charge with the bat. Just opens the face as they come across for a quick single. 7 overs gone, 44 for 1.
3 from that. So Janelia Glasgow, she hasn't done so much of the bowling in the last couple of days. Clearly, that first over from Ali Aline prompted Giovanna to explore Janelia's bowling skills here, and not to forget that Giovanna herself is not bowling because of that niggle in her knee. So that also underscores how resourceful all these teams are. There's such a depth of bowling resources. They can dip into those. And Janelia has done exceptionally well. 3 overs for 7 runs there.
It's all about versatility, isn't it? Especially in the modern game. We often see part-timers picking up wickets quite often. You're not really expecting the same sort of mindset sometimes as a batter. You might take them a little bit more lightly, forces you to make those mistakes you wouldn't ordinarily.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And their eyes light up when they see the batters. They see they're probably part-timers. We can go a little hard. They try some out of the ordinary shots, and in fact, the run out that happened was also a shot that was tried by Cami Desai. She came out of the wicket.
That's 4. For the time that it left the bat, straight down the ground, and absolutely no fielder would have had a chance to stop that.
The leg spinner bowling into the left-hander. It always comes into them. So Kiana Joseph shimmying down the track, slightly wide outside the leg stump, making room for herself, and clobbered that really above, behind the bowler for a 4. This is the longest she has stayed at the crease so far in the last few days that we have seen.
Leg side this time, and swept in a very large vacant area of the ground for 4 more. It's back-to-back boundaries for Kiana Joseph.
She gave it everything there on the leg stand, just swiveled on it. No one there. Back-to-back boundaries, like you said. That's pushing the rate up. It's above 7 now.
It's just a really poor delivery, that last one.
Yes.
Full on the pads, easy pickings. But this is worrying signs. Misses out. And won't be called a wide, just brushes the pads on the way. Worrying signs if you're Blazers, because you need a win as well. This would have been 2 more points on that table and continue to have kept them in a comfortable position. At the moment, the way Kiana Joseph's going, she's trying to finish things in a hurry. Calls for catch it, it is skied, and it's just gonna beat the fielder. Always looked a little unsure getting under it. Didn't judge it as well as she should have.
Yeah, it was a valiant attempt, but as you rightly said, didn't seem like she was in control of that. As far as getting under it or judging is concerned, it was almost like hoping against hope towards the end that something sticks out. She did not have it fully covered, but these kind of catches are difficult.
And then, just to add insult to injury, you've got a thick outside edge that allows for a single to come through. 8 overs gone, 56 for 1. And I think we're all set for another interview.
Well, welcome back to the Maiden Cricket Media Centre, and I have a very special guest with us today, Fani Chetneni, who to the local Seattle audience would need no introduction, and probably to the wider American cricket community probably needs no introduction. But Fani, tell me which roles you play in cricket in the United States.
Thank you, Sean. Before talking about me, I want to convey my first thought when I walked in here. Having two national level tournaments, we had a regional, we had a national level tournaments, and we had having an international level tournament in Seattle in last one and a half month. This is historic. This is truly historic, and I can't express my happiness to see what transpired in a month and a half. I am really hoping this is just start of what we are going to do here, and together what we are going to achieve in near future and longer term as well. Coming back, thank you for the kind introduction. I always say I am one of the foot soldiers that's been helping cricket in this country for past 2-3 decades. There are hundreds of people who have made a significant difference to cricket in this country. Fortunately, I can get and sit in with you and talk about this cricket, but there are a lot of people behind the scene that actually enable this. Look at this tournament alone. There are so many warriors behind to get this going for us today, right? Guys like Mangesh at national level, Jani, Amit, who actually have been here for past 2 years building this field to be able to, host high-level cricket is a blessing to cricket and all the younger generation here, I would say. So, a little bit more, again, as I said, past 3 decades, but got engaged more in a professional way through minor league cricket. That was truly a milestone for this country 6 years ago. And major league, what can I say? Orcas at hometown. I would like to take a moment to really pay my respects to Soma. We miss him big time, but I'm sure he's happily watching what's happening here. Tremendous progress. A lot of work to do, but all things start somewhere, right? So this is and Sean, truly appreciate you and all the Orcas team. Sanjay, Soma always talked about women's cricket, so it's awesome to see it coming live here and investing to make this a tremendous experience for the players, bringing in the international stars, giving them the limelight, bringing Seattle into limelight, and showcasing what we can do together is truly appreciated. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Fani. Now, on behalf of the Seattle Orcas, I would like to thank you personally. You bring UST to Major League Cricket, you bring UST to the pathway as well. And the amount of resources that UST put into cricket in this country is phenomenal, and we really appreciate their support first and foremost, and the fact that you are really the front person for that relationship with the Seattle Orcas and every other level beneath Major League Cricket is very much appreciated. I'd also like to thank your Seattle Thunderbolts team because, as you mentioned, they've helped Mangesh get this facility right and at a level where this level of cricket can be played, and the girls are having a wonderful experience on the pitch. So to Joni and the others who have put in time into getting this pitch right, we really appreciate that as well. As you say, there are many foot soldiers that have helped us get to this level. Taking a step forward, obviously we're playing here on a reasonable facility, but to elevate the local cricketers in Seattle, we need to take it to the next level. What can we do? How can we really push the barrow forward to try and get an international quality facility somewhere in Redmond or in Marrimore Park or in the local area? What can we do to try and make that happen?
Oh, very important factor in truly making this an international quality destination, right? The cricket community here is very strong and growing. Kids are doubling, quadrupling, taking on cricket. It would have been even larger growth that would have happened if we had better facilities to play here. I know a lot of cities have been supportive of growth of cricket. It's still a minority sport, but we know King County, we know Bellevue, Redmond city councils, mayors all have been supportive of this, and the community has been conveying the message of a need for an international level facility, and appreciate Orcas leading this effort with the council members and the governing folks here. It's awareness. It's showcasing. These are the events that showcase what we are missing and what we could do for this community and for this youth here, if there is a better facility. So I'm really looking forward to join hands with whoever from all academies together, all the cricket playing communities together. There are 4 or 5 different leagues. There are about 10,000 cricketers and all their families that play cricket here. The economic impact is immense. We have seen that in other cities too, where international cricket facilities have been built. So it needs continuous commitment from the community and the support from the leaders to make this a reality soon. So then private-public partnerships, all the different models will come into picture, but that commitment from all of us that we are waiting for 3-4 years, I'm really hoping it all comes together shortly here, Sean.
Yeah, you're right, and we need to send this back to our central commentary team in a second, but one thing that has really struck me in the role, and I've been in the role now for 5 months, is just the passion and the commitment and the love for the game of cricket amongst the local community. And I think if people like yourself and the other foot soldiers around, if we can collaborate, come together and really channel that passion, that commitment in one direction, we'll be very successful in getting the facility and then the local cricket community to be elevated because of the amount of love and passion we have for the game. Fani Chetney, thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you again for your support, for your team support. We really appreciate it. And enjoy the rest of the afternoon and the final tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
It might be the first ball we've lost in this series. Thanks to Kiana Joseph, who's raced on to 35 off 28. It's a mammoth 6 this. Ball retrieved. She has played an outstanding knock so far. And she is the big wicket that they need to try and find the Blazers.
True that, absolutely. She holds the key here, not just to see them through, but to see them through in a quick time, which will help them with their net run rate as well.
One delivery to come in the over.
Disha Kawari Pakham, she's number 4 on the wickets list so far in this competition.
Oh, it's a poor delivery. Short, wide, cut away. Should be cut off by the fielders. I just want to see if we might be needing a second look at this. She did pull it back, but I just don't know where her body followed through on it.
Close one.
Good chase in the end. She's done well. She's made sure that she was aerial when she was in contact with the ball. It's going to be the halfway point. 10 overs gone, 69 for 1, and it's time for a quick drinks break. right back into continuing the chase. The Worms have started neck and neck, and at the moment, the Redmond Raptors are just starting to create a bit of a distance between themselves and the Bellevue Blazers, and it helps that they've only lost the one wicket. Kiana Joseph, key today, 37 of 29. She's looked good, and it's allowed for Anika Kalan to be batting at a fairly slow strike rate, which is not very common for her. 5 of 13 from her. Target 133. They need 64 more from here on. It's all about maintaining that required run rate.
Look who has the ball in hand. Giovanna Aras, the captain, earlier talked about the fact that carrying an injury to her left knee. So that's significant as a pace bowler. That is her plant foot. And so I want to see how well that knee holds up. But if you're going into the last 59 balls of the innings, you need 63 runs, 9 wickets in hand. You have Kiana Joseph, 37 from 29. You still have Ritu Singh to come. Several resources. It feels like the batting side is the one on top to me.
They've just turned things around, haven't they, in this game with the bat? And it's kind of ironic because their bowling is supposed to be their stronger suit of what we've seen, and today the bowling struggled.
Just not able to build much pressure. You'd have 2 or 3 good deliveries and then a rank long hop or a full toss, and that got punished. Already have 7 4s and 1 6 in the inning so far. And what that start has done is it has allowed, and you mentioned it, Anika Colin going a little bit more slowly than you're typically used to seeing her. But with that fast start, there is no pressure on her to accelerate. And the platform is there. You're scoring at 6.4, make that 6.8 and over. The required rate is 6.4. So you can still come along and do what you're doing now and not be concerned that you're falling behind. Even with that dot ball, the required rate still well south of what you would think would cause an issue or cause you concern. So all things considered, I'd prefer at this stage to be the Redmond Raptors than the Bellevue Blazers.
Picked up into the leg side, and absolutely no fielder there. It's going to be 4 runs. She's going to move up to 10, and you could just sense that there was a release shot coming because there was a bit of antsiness in Anika Kalan.
Great pickup shot. There are such small margins for error. That ball is on leg stump, a little bit of movement inward. If it's another 6 inches over toward the stumps, it has to be treated with respect. But with that line, you easily put it away. Look at this, just picking it up. And once you get any bat on that, that's always going to be 4.
Threads the needle, this time through the offside. And they will come back for 2 as well. She is quick between the wickets, and she's also pushing Kiana Joseph. It's going to be 2 runs to end the over. 11 gone, 77 for 1.
It'll be interesting to see whether or not she bowls herself again. The captain, Giovanna Aras, because she was marginally penetrative, but not overly penetrative like you'd ordinarily expect from her. So the question to be asked is, are you risking potential injury and not getting the benefit from what is typically very good, accurate bowling on your part? I think the answer to that question will need to be made before you decide whether or not she's going to bowl another over here.
Into the leg side again. And again, she's picked up that gap to go all the way for 6. Well, she's dealing in maximums at the moment, Kiana Joseph.
You say picked up that gap. It doesn't matter that it was in the gap, because whether or not there's one fielder or 10 fielders in that position, that is always going to be 6. She's very, very strong on the pull. And I will tell you, on that line with that ball going in that direction, you bowled that delivery at your peril. And so you've raced ahead here, just looking to see that with that boundary, with that 6, that brings up the 50 partnership between these two. As you see that replay again, this pair is looking to take the game away from the Blazers.
Won't pierce the gap on the offside this time. 44 of 32. It's the first time we've seen her actual ability on display. She's gotten a couple of starts, but hasn't gone on to get a big one yet. And it's come at an all-important time when her side are staring down the barrel of exiting this series without a win.
Well, you saw her get run out on the first day, and the second day she was dismissed by Alea Lane. Even though she's missed a couple here, 3 straight deliveries, 3 straight dots, but it feels like the majority of the hard work has already been done. Just another 50 needed from 50 balls. So run a ball from here wins it. You know that you're going to want to get more than a run a ball from the bat of Kiana Joseph. Interesting. She's looking to target that leg side again. Disha Dingra is on the boundary at square leg, 55 yards away. She wants to make her a spectator.
Chipped for another single. It's a good comeback from Disha after realizing anything on the pad will be out of the ground. She's tried to bowl consistently on that off stump line. Eight runs off the over with that single to round off the 12th. It is 85 for 1.
End of 12, 85 for 1. When the Bellevue Blazers batted at the end of 12, they were 72 without loss. So you're 13 runs ahead, bearing in mind that the Bellevue Blazers slowed down tremendously toward the back end of their innings. So it feels like you have a significant cushion here as the Redmond Raptors. And again, still plenty of batting resources to come. I mentioned Ritu Singh. I did not even mention the likes of Divya Saxena, China Pereira. So many resources still to come. And here's the answer to the question I asked. She's back in for a second over. Captain Giovanna Aras.
The one area that's been a bit of a talking point in this game is the drop catches. Oh, this is what we call service. Hand-delivered warm samosas on a cold day. Very straight on this occasion and very good effort in the deep. Saves a certain boundary.
Certainly.
Look at this, Brian. 4 samosas. Are you splitting that with
Question, the question to be asked as we see that one straight down the ground. Excellent effort in the deep. The question to be asked is, are you going to ignore that obviously hot pepper that is beside your samosas?
this hot pepper? Yes, I am.
Runs.
That's 4. That is well played, well placed, and 4 runs.
Speaking of hot peppers, that shot was like a hot pepper racing across the turf, backward of square for a boundary. Now, on that replay, look at that. That's a one-handed shot. I want to see that again. That was audacious, and it was with one hand. A bit of flair in that. If we can go back and look at that again, that is a really audacious shot. Take a look at this. Look at the just one-handed shot there.
It's a bit dismissive, isn't it? Get that out of here.
It's extremely dismissive. Like you're swatting a fly is what that's like.
Go back and do better, please. That's a better line. Just a bit planted with her feet on that one, Kiana Joseph. She's one run away from pulling up her half century.
That's the commentator's jinx. You know that always works, right?
No, she's going to get her 50. You watch. She's in really good form at the moment.
If Kiana Joseph does not get a 50 here, she has one person to blame.
Herself.
That's going to be... Did you say herself?
If she doesn't get a 50, she's got herself to blame for it.
42 needed from 44. She has batted excellently. 49 runs on the board, 37 balls faced. And she's in hit me mode. She's in clear the front leg and swing for the fences mode.
That is into the pads, and they'll scamper across for single. Needed to do better on that occasion. Anika Kaland, drag your bat in, please. We will wait to see if this called. It is called runs. It was onto the pads and ricocheted, and that's going to be a half century for Kiana Joseph. 50 off just 38 deliveries. She has been outstanding with a bat today.
She's been brilliant as Anika Kolan gets a single down the ground to close out over number 8. The third consecutive over number 13. I mean, the third consecutive over where 8 runs have scored. Don't think I've seen that very often. That is the end of 13. The score is 93 for 1. Somebody just whispered to her.
A late celebration, but a celebration indeed. Kiana Joseph, 50 off 38. It has been an outstanding knock. 6 4s and 2 6s to get her to that half century. And she will know better than anyone that the job is not done yet. She needs to find 40 more runs for her side to get them over the line.
She's batted beautifully. And I said beautifully. She's batted aggressively with intent. And you know that you needed intent, given the fact that the score that they're chasing is the second highest score in the tournament so far.
Big. Powerful and more runs.
We've talked
This
about
time
that.
it's the captain getting into the action.
Talked about that elevated extra cover drive. Just a little bit of a shimmy to get closer to the pitch. Mike beside the bowler as a leg spinner, turning the ball away from the right-handed Anika Kolan. But she does really well balanced. There's a little shimmy just to get enough or close enough to the pitch. Really lovely shot.
Quick single. Again. Pushing Kiana Joseph to move fast. Let's go, Kiana. I know you've got 50, but you need to get a single here right now. And it's good to see the communication between the two of them.
The leg spinner bowling to a left-hander who wants to send her out of the park. Disha Dinger going back to deep square leg. Believe me that she'll be looking big here.
Does it have the legs? It does. It's going to get over the line. A couple of bounces, 4 more. They're in a rush to finish this game, and they have to because of the net run rate.
That 4 bringing up the 100. Little bit of a shimmy. Doesn't usually use her feet to attack the spinners very much, Kiana Joseph. And plus, as we mentioned, she's carrying a bit of an injury. But she got enough bat on that to get it over the top of extra cover for yet another boundary.
well adjusted. Both bowler and batter. Bowler pulling the length back a little bit, expecting Kiana Joseph to come down the track. Into the leg side and straight into the hands. That's a very good catch in the deep. It's West Indian to West Indian on that occasion, and that's going to be a big wicket gone. Kiana Joseph's going to have to make the long walk back. She's gone for 50 off 38. Good knock comes to an end. It also means that her side now just have to make sure they don't make a meal of this. It's 102 for 2.
Alea Lane with a really good catch. Look at this. Look at the very end of this. Look how low down she takes this. As dying as it got toward her, gets that hand underneath and holds on beautifully. That is not an easy catch, but she does really well, Alea Lane. Hasn't done well with the 1 over that she bowled today. 19 runs conceded in that 1 over. But you take the catch, and that certainly pulls your team back in the direction that you want them to go. But take nothing away from the work done with the ball. Make that with the bat. For Kiana Joseph, has her team within margin or within range of an emphatic victory, you would think. So the big monster partnership of 69 runs has been broken. 102 for 2. 2 delivers into over number... In fact, 1 ball remaining in over number 14.
That's a wide. Not quite the right line you want to be starting on, especially if you're taking the ball away. Flighted this time, and in 2 minds they will come across. Not a clean pickup, allows for a single. "14 overs gone, 104 for 2.
10 wides.
Well, if the Blazers don't cross over the line, they're going to have to take a look at their stats a little bit. Catch has gone down. Those are opportunities that should have been held. 17 extras. 10 of those are wide and 2 of those are no balls.
And those 2 no balls coming in the first over. So that sort of set the tone. In fact, you had several extras in that first over, such that both batters came out of the first over with 5 runs against their name each, and the score was 19. So that sets the tone immediately. And that you've never really recovered from that, such that you're in a place now where less than 5 runs and over wins it from here. Just 29 runs needed in the last 36 balls. It's going to be interesting to me to see how Ritu Singh plays this. She always has that big backlift looking to go long, and she's checked it the last couple of times that she's played a shot. I want to see when she chooses to go big.
I think right about now. And she's going to beat the fielder as well. That'll be her first boundary. 4 runs on the cards, and they move closer to getting over the line.
In fairness, this is a loose long hop. Long hop on the stumps, yes, but I said long hop, I'm sorry. I mean a full toss. Full toss on the stumps, but still a full toss. Obviously much easier to hit those when they don't pitch. And Ritu Singh only too happy to accept the gift that was provided to her by Chetna Prasad. Last over here being bowled by Chetna Prasad.
They've been very calculated with the bat today. The Raptors.
Calculated is a good way of putting it. It feels like calculated aggression. You know that you needed to go at close to 7 runs and over, but they never once seemed overwhelmed by the magnitude of that target. And especially when they've been given some assistance with, let's call it, less than perfect bowling and less than perfect catching, they've still needed to be able to take advantage of those opportunities, and I think they've done it really well.
And this is where the importance of Kiana Joseph's innings comes in as well. It was calculated, but the aggression from her made it a lot easier. End of the over. 15 gone, 1 and 9 for 2. .24 needed off 30. Net run rate in the equation as well. It's a swing and a miss. Half a question asked behind the stumps of a caught behind. That was more of an optimistic shout, wasn't it?
It is, indeed. Now it's got to a point, Manali, where the Blazers would feel it's an opportunity gone a-begging. They somehow, the intensity of that first over kind of took their intensity out. It didn't come back since then. I would have hoped them to push a little more harder, ask a few more tough questions. That was not to be.
It just seems a bit flat in terms of energy, doesn't it? And this is where one or two of your players have got to try and pick that energy up, whether it's being loud, whether it's cheering your bowlers on, whatever it is, you've got to try and get that energy back into it.
I sometimes feel that when you have a spirited, you have your main bowler having a tough time the first over, it's a bit of a two-faceted question that should you give them the next over, should you not give them? But she is your frontline bowler. I would rather come back after a couple of overs and try another over with her. That was your main option of taking some wickets at the top in power play.
Yes, I do agree with you. And we saw a bit of this yesterday as well from the Blazers, where the bowling changes have not quite been the best ones. Shivana Aris, I mean, she's fairly new to the game as well. It's been a very steep learning curve for her. And that will come with time and experience. But one of the most important things as a captain is knowing when to change your bowlers and how to rotate them. Oh, that is very, very sketchy when played that late and it's on the stumps. It'll come across for a single. It's going to round off the 16th. It's 113 for 2. I suppose it's the difference between captains being reactive and proactive as well.
And she had a lot to think about today because her three economical bowlers so far in this competition have been Chetna Prasad, Mahek Desai and Disha Kaveri-Pakam. Of them, Mahek Desai and Disha have had a tough day today, not to mention Ali Aline herself, and that probably prompted Jivana to come out of her sort of decision not to bowl herself, to come out of that decision and bowl a couple of overs, because apart from Janelia Glasgow and Chetna Prasad, everybody has gone for runs today. So it is, you will have days like these, and this is where I feel a little more confidence in Ali Aline would have helped. it's always, you played the game, you know that sometimes you may have one or tricky overs, but a international player like Ali Aline, I'm sure she can come back and rectify from those.
Yeah, it's a chance you've got to take, especially if they are your main pace bowler.
Yes.
At the moment, they're doing it in singles and quite easily as well. They need 17 more with that single.
That makes the last game such an absolute cracker, because if this game, Raptors would have lost this one, that in all practical purposes was an end of the road for Raptors.
In the gap, that's going to be 4. 1 bounce and over the rope. She's held herself back a little with the sing. She has a naturally very attacking game. This time, she's able to pick it up beautifully.
Good shot. Lovely shot. So Raptors, if they win this game, that makes the last game an absolute decision maker for who goes into the finals tomorrow. All 3 options possible.
It's going to be a wide. Drawn into the shot though, Ritu Singh. Yeah, this win just keeps the contest alive.
But it's good to see Raptors applying themselves today and coming back in their batting form. That was looking a little underdone for them. That they will take a lot of confidence from here. And then, of course, you know, they can just hope, sit back and hope that probably the Waves pull off a win. That would keep them in the contest for tomorrow. I like the way they applied themselves in the batting approach here.
That's well played. But straight to the fielder in the deep. One delivery to come in the over. Pulled away. And at the moment they look very relaxed because the runs are coming as easy as they like. 17 overs gone, 124 for 2.
It's under 10 now, the number of runs to win the game. You're absolutely right. They look very relaxed now. In a way, they've kind of worked out a batting order, which I think should be their batting order going forward.
Now, when we take a look at the points table, the Waves are at the top with 4 points. The winner of this game will pick up 2 more points. Most likely, it's going to be the Redmond Raptors. Bellevue Blazers will want to try and win that next game.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're in the same situation again. If they win the next game, it then comes down to net run rate. And that's exciting.
They will have to win the game to even find themselves the contender. Otherwise, they're going home. It's as simple as that.
Yep, exactly. But it would just be very exciting to see all of this come down to net run rate and tied points.
That would be the most ideal way, because in many ways, all the 3 teams are pretty evenly balanced. And they've all shown moments in which they played very well, or they've been found wanting. So it only augurs well if we finish all the entire round robin league phase with all of them at the same points, with net run rate deciding who are the top 2.
Well, you were asking about her, and here she is with the ball. Ali Alain, too late in my books.
And she's not bowling fast here.
No, not bowling fast, and I'm just wondering if there might be an injury concern. Maybe that's why she's not been asked to bowl her full quota of overs.
She's changed the end. It's a reverse wind today, and I suspect that first over she was probably struggling dealing with the movement in the ball because of the breeze.
Well, the thing is, we're saying they definitely need a win to stay, which is true. But they're also playing their first doubleheader day today. And fatigue is going to be an issue in that second game.
And we are not even done with the first game yet.
Misses out on this. Short, wide. Wanted to be able to put it away. Anika Kalan.
For the Raptors, I think, Manali, Anika should come back with Kiana at the top, and they should probably play Divya Saxena and Ritu a little up the order. That those 3 or 4 batters should take maximum strike, and they should have maximum exposure to all the balls that they have to play.
That's going to round off the 18th. They need 6 more from here on. It's 127 for 2. Shavana Aris, it's captain v captain. And it's a big swing and a miss.
It was at the slot, for sure. Either it was, I think, a little slower in pace, that she got herself committed a little too quickly. Oh, not this time.
Down the ground. And that's 4 runs. Just 2 more needed from here on. Gave herself some room as well, clearing that front leg, allowing for those arms to come through. She's known to hit the big ones, Ritu Singh. You just look at Giovanna Ars's bowling action, and for the height that she has, I think she just needs to work a little bit more on a smoother run-up. Arms aren't quite coming towards the direction. I think she could also add a bit of pace running in to create that momentum to get the extra clicks. And that's going to be a wide. Scores are level. Need 1 more from here on to cross over the line.
The front foot is such an important ingredient of a fast bowler when you're following through to get that pace. And the fact that she has that left knee injury, it almost seems like she's gingerly putting the weight on that one. At least today. I do take your point that overall in action, biomechanics point of view, she has some work to do. But especially with this injury, look at that. She's having a little more force on her shoulders to get that little pace, and she's not putting the complete weight on those knees. And that's quite understandable because she's probably brought herself into the attack because the resource challenge today. But she has a game to go after this.
And that's the concern right there. Big, massive, in fact, and she's going to finish the game off in style. It's gone all the way for 6 to see the Redmond Raptors over the line. They've brought themselves back in the series when they were under pressure, and they now have to see how this next game pans out.
Excellent. Clinically done there. They will take a lot of confidence from this Redmond Raptors. They've had a mixed bag of a tournament so far, but that one is an absolute clinical one. The last game of their round robin. They can sit back. They've done their job. They've got those 2 points and done this with some urgency, with few deliveries to spare. So that will do a world of good.
Really good from Kiara Joseph up at the top. 54 off just 41 deliveries. Cami Desai got a good start, didn't go on to kick on to get a bigger score, just the 12 from her, but the two at the end, the skipper Anika Kalan 25 off 32 and Ritu Singh 27 off just 21 deliveries. They see their side home. 138 for 2 on the cards, and they win by 8 wickets today. The bowling was a struggle.
Indeed, it started in that very first over, which went on till for eternity and kind of set the tone for what was to come. I think the standout there was Chetna Prasad, and Chetna Prasad 315 from her 4. She's been consistent throughout, but rest of the all the other bowlers taking some stick there. Janelia Glasgow, she came out to roll her arms over for the team, did not do badly at all, 20 from 4. But Giovanna Ras then trying to help the team out, despite her injury, coming in actually bowling, but did go for some runs. So nothing really to write home about there. It was all about the batting of Redmond Raptors.
Confirmation 132 for 4 is what we saw in the first innings. Disha Dhingra pulled up an excellent half century as well, but in vain today. 51 off 48 from her. Mahek Desai good at the top as well, 32 off 34 from her. It's the bowlers. Vaishnavi bowled well, 2 for 21. Lekha Shetty not getting her full allocated overs, but she did go for 1 for 10 in reply. They win it by 8 wickets thanks to Kiana Joseph's half century, 54 off 41, and a handy 27 off 21 from Ritu Singh. Raptors pick up a win while they were pushed against a wall. They win this by 8 wickets. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's time for the post-match presentation.
Welcome to the post-match ceremony in this game between the Redmond Raptors and the Bellevue Blazers right here in the Seattle Orcas T20 Women's Exhibition. As we see some tremendous dancing in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish the camera was aimed the other way. Before we go through to the player of the match, I want to just highlight the fact that this was a very well-played match. Blazers had a fast start. 51 from 48 from Disha Dhingra. She does well at the top of the order always. And young Mahek Desai, 32 from 34. However, good bowling by the Redmond Raptors to pull things back, and then they take victory in the end. allow me to introduce once again a young lady who will be the presenter for the tournament, or for the post-match winner, councilwoman for the city of Redmond, Jessica Forsyth.
Thank you.
In fact, I'll ask you one quick question. Is this the first cricket match that you've ever attended, Ms. Forsyth?
This is not the first cricket match I've ever attended, but this is the first cricket match where my team won. So, very excited.
Fantastic. It's a pleasure to have you. So a few individuals who put their hands up for a potential player of the match. Captain Anika Colin, we'll probably talk to her a little bit later, 25 from 32 with the bat. Young Vaishnavi Mangeshkar, 4 overs, 2 for 21. I thought she was excellent. But I think it's clear that the player who did the best on the day and deserves as player of the match, 54 from 41, 7 fours and 2 sixes, Kiana Joseph.
Woo! Yes! Congratulations. Thank you.
So Kiana, if you don't mind, a word or two. First of all, you missed the action yesterday. Your injury, give me an update on that.
But I was feeling a bit under the weather. I have the flu, but I'm feeling much better today. So today I just wanted to put up my hand and bat as long as possible, bring the game as close as possible for my team, and come out victorious on the day.
So you did the hard part. You got your team off to a good start. There was a mix of caution and aggression the way I saw it.
Yeah, I was just playing every ball in its merit, back myself, back my ability, my skills, and my strength also.
And so you said strength. That tells me you're from St. Lucia. But the very last thing is, given this tournament, everything that it means for the development of the sport, what does it mean for you to have been a part of this?
Well, it's a great initiative. Also for me, it's the first time coming all the way to Seattle, and it's a great experience. I really wish to come back again next year and more again. I love the tournament. I wish it gets bigger and better every year.
Very well done. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Kiana Joseph, ladies and gentlemen. We've spoken to this young lady a handful of times. We'll do it again today. Giovanna Aras, come on up. For my first question to you, and I always dwell on the injuries, you brought yourself in and you actually bowled. How encouraging is that for you?
I mean, it feels good. I know I can bowl now. I mean, it still hurts a little bit, but it is what it is.
But you have tremendous bowlers, so you have a lot of resources in that in that space. What made you think that you needed to come in and bowl today?
I just thought I could add a little bit of pressure. I mean, I did bowl the first part of my overs, and then second half didn't go my way, but I'm just gonna see if I can add more pressure.
And let's step back again from this match itself and more sort of a global view of what it means to have cricket develop in the city where you're from, hosting a tournament of this magnitude.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for the development in cricket overall, like around the world, especially in Seattle. We have a lot of girls coming through, a lot of younger girls wanting to play at the higher level, so I think this is just going to be a grassroots, or like a foundation for them to be able to build their skills and be able to play with higher ranked players.
Really well done, as always. Thank you, Giovanna. Giovanna Aras. And then finally, Anika Colin, come on up. To me, it looks like your batting finally showed the potential, what it has.
Yeah, it was just a great experience to go out there and play a few balls. As Kiana and I were talking in the middle of the wicket, it was just play as long as we can, just back yourself, back your skills, like she said earlier, and just batting with her was so much fun. So I'm glad that I got to show a little bit of what I have.
You certainly showed the skills that you have. When I said you earlier, I meant your team on a whole. For the first time, it just felt like your batting was showing what it really could have done.
Yeah, our batting department did great today. I think it took a little bit to get there, but I just loved how Kiana just raised her hand to say, yeah, like I will stand up for the team. And Kami also had a great start with our opener, and Ritu. It was great to have everyone out there. Yeah, like I said earlier on in the day, I think our batting department is pretty strong, and it just took a while for us to click, but now that we have, I'm glad that we have another win on the board.
And I'll ask you a similar question to the last one I asked Giovanna. You are captain of the USA team. You have a much more global view of the game than most of the people who are here. What does this tournament mean to you as the captain of the US team?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor to even be in this type of initiative and just being part of the Seattle Orcas in general. I think having so much reach and bringing so many players like Kiana and Claxton and Aaliyah, all these Canadian and West Indies players to come in, I mean, it's just growing the sport from outside here to the U.S., and I think that's the great way to just grow the sport here. It's also really great for all the grassroots players here.
Really proud of you and your ladies. Well done. Anika Colin, ladies and gentlemen, the last match of the group stages happens in about another hour and a half or so local time. The Bellevue Blazers, it will take on the Washington Waves. See you at 4 p.m. Local time. See you soon. In the air and put down. This is catchable. I'll tell you what, Achina Pereira, male or female. Oh, hammered away. That is really well struck, and that goes for 6.
Bush.
Stroked. A lot of work for Rita Singh. She will not care. That is really well. Just need to make sure that we don't take any chances. Up and over, just out of reach of Divya Saxena. Oh, that is lovely. That is a top shot. I see that extra cover where that 4 went. What, short of length?
And a lot of work, a lot of jurisdictions coming together to make it happen. But I think the energy is there, and especially from community.
It's a very valid point. 14-year-old Vaishnavi Mangeshkar.
That is a lovely looking shot. This is good running. Ooh. Catchable and put down. Oh my God.
To get the MVP award for the electeds that year, which I take as a badge of honor. But I've learned a lot, and it's been
Pulled away. Swept in the gap, and how well is this placed? It's going to be back-to-back boundaries. Around the wicket, short, wide, thank you for 4 more, and that... Around the wicket, short, wide, thank you for 4 more, and that's at the end of 20 overs. Boulder right through the gate, looking to go...
And around the region to see cricket and to experience it and to have a...
Tell you what.
I don't know if this is going to be a no ball, but it is definitely going to be a boundary.
Ball away from her. Interesting matchup.
Poor line. Helped on its way for... Chopped on. And that's going to be the end of Giovanna Aris. This one will find the boundary.
Hammered away for 4. 1 deliver in, 4 runs on the board. Lovely looking shot. Punched through that mid-wicket area for probably...
Here is mixing it up.
Crashed away through the offside for 4. Just cut away. That's a good looking shot. Not a lot of width, but she's wide, either to the lefty or the righty. Oh, that almost...
Another guest with me.
Wide by Cami Desai. She came out of the wicket.
That's 4. For the time that it left the bat. Leg side this time, and swept in a bit. It is skied, and it's just going to beat the fielder.
One thing that has really struck me.
Wicket slits so far in this competition.
Oh, it's a poor delivery. Short, wide, cut away. Should be cut off by the fielders. I just want to see. Picked up. Into the leg side again. And again. Very straight on this occasion, and very good effort in the deep. Hot pepper? Yes, I am.
Runs.
That's 4. That is well played, well placed. Big. Does it have the legs?
It does. It's going to get into the leg side and straight into the hands. That's a very good catch in the deep.
To go big.
Nothing right about now. And she's going to beat the fielder as well.
Purposes. Was an end of the road for Raptors.
In the gap.
Not this time.
Down the ground.
Century. Look at that. She's having a little more force.
Big. Massive, in fact. And she's going to finish the game off in style. It's gone all the way for 6. Just